and it's on. So, how do you feel about Dark Souls 3 now that you have finished it?
Honestly, much better than I felt about Dark Souls 2's ending.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Why is
Uh,
that?
the story that's being told right now or the story that's being told in Dark Souls 3 feels much more, not much more compelling, but much more complete. I feel like
Mm-hmm,
it's a much rounder experience.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, the whole point of Dark Souls 3 was to finish the story and move on to
Excuse
do
me.
something else.
Uh, Say that again, please.
The whole point of Dark Souls 3 was to finish the story and move to
Yes,
do
yes.
something else. So, do you think it succeeded?
Partially.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I mean, there are still open questions, as always.
For example?
Uh, what are the angels? Who are the angels?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Drakekeep angels, like second DLC angels, and Lothric Castle angels might be something different, probably.
Uh,
The Gertrude stuff, you know.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Um,
So, we were talking about Dark Souls 2 like a month ago. Do you remember what
yes.
I told you about the light?
No.
So basically, the thing is, um, what those two princes believed in is that instead of this Age of Fire repeating, what will came is that the girl Gertrude basically gave them this idea that let the world die, wait some time, and something new will be
Right. Yeah.
born. But because it's
Right.
not
Right.
primitive, it's not gonna be fire, it's gonna be better. And the better thing is the
Yeah. Now
light.
I remember again.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And because it's like a fate based, like you believe that it will happen, it basically caused like a civil war in Lothric, where the guys that believed in the old stuff, that is link the fire because that's what we do, so the fire keeps going. Um, they are the red ones, and they are fighting the blue ones, and the blue ones are the ones that believe in the light, and that's the whole thing why Lothric is basically divided into two sides that are fighting each other.
All right, that makes sense.
Yeah, and
But
between all
that
of this insanity, the king, father of Lothric and Lorien, went insane with all the dragon stuff.
you know that is something that I was curious about.
Mm-hmm,
Also during the series, while I was recording these episodes, especially during I think one of the first videos, like High Wall of Lothric,
mm-hmm,
probably
mm-hmm.
second video then. Um, it's not, now that you say it, like the blue ones, like the I call them the captain, right? The I mean, he looks like a captain. He's a stronger version than the blue Lothric knight that you see in front of
The fed one or the normal one?
the blue version. Like what is it called? Emma, in front of Emma's room, right? Uh, or in front of the dancer's room,
Mm-hmm.
basically, where like there the red Lothric knights are patrolling up and down, and then when you're standing in front of the room to the left, you have this one
Blue
blue
one.
Lothric knight,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and
Well,
this one feels more like a captain. And but you say it's like they're enemies now, like the blue versions
mm-hmm,
believe in the light, the red version not.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's not really well conveyed. I feel
If
like.
you look at those knights, like they have this move when they buff their weapons. The red ones buff it with fire. The blue ones buff it with light.
Do they even buff the red version? I've never seen them
Uh,
buff their weapon.
yeah, but I think it's only the ones with the two-handed swords.
Is there even is there even a version with the great sword? I don't think
Yeah.
there is there one.
Uh, sure. I'm sure there is. And in the library, there are a few knights, and they buff their weapons with crystals.
Yes, that's sure.
So by that we can decide like what side are they on.
Yeah, but
I
what's the crystal side on of the crystal sage or what?
The library, the mages.
Yeah, I mean you can just say it's like a okay, you are in a mage area. Everyone
hmm
uses magic here.
Yeah.
Sure. But
the
I mean,
di-
they could have conveyed that better by letting them these two factions fight each other. You don't really see that, like
mm,
active fighting. You don't see them actively fighting each other. That is
yeah,
like
I
my
think
problem. You
you
see them stand
don't.
over each.
Yeah, you just see them over the corpses.
Yeah, but that could just be there's the survivors or something, right?
Like you basically came after the battle is finished.
Yeah,
Now,
and I mean,
the
like there are a
thing
bunch of
is.
armors. There are a bunch of armors and weapons in Lothric Castle and stuff, but
Mhm.
they're all empty. There are no corpses.
Yeah, that's also kind of weird. The thing is, I haven't seen all of your episodes because I have just been busy.
Yeah,
But you would got me like when I see them, I will be commenting all this stuff like after your videos.
probably.
Yeah, probably. The one thing that I wanted to ask you if you noticed is that when you go into the Lothric Castle, like the upper part, um, you go into the knight's basically mausoleum when you have those stone graves in the floor. Have you
Yeah.
noticed that the knights there fight in a style that is mimicking the princes? Like you have one melee with a sword, and you have the one that is hidden like somewhere in the room, and he's just casting buffs.
Someone's custom. The knights themselves?
Mm-mm. No,
No,
no, no.
you mean
It's a
the
knight.
cleric version or not?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's they fight into it's a knight, and then you have the cleric.
Yeah.
hmm They are mimicking the way that the princes fight.
I mean, sure. Uh, haven't made the connection to that, but yeah, now that you say it.
Yeah, a lot of people don't see those details, but I do.
I mean, also, why would you see it that way? If you see a cleric that has like a no armor, uh, the small poke stick and their chime or whatever they're using, then sure,
hmm
it's the buffer, it's the cast in the background.
hmm
I mean,
Well,
it's something that you see most of the or in many games, right? So that's
mm,
probably why no one really catches that. And I
yeah,
mean, you
you
have
need
to.
to basically
And I
look
mean,
at
if it's
it
your
in a box.
yeah, you have to analyze. You have to look very, very close. And then you could also say it's a coincidence. I mean,
There are no coincidences in Souls games.
eh,
There are only things that are intended or glitches.
didn't they like in Elden Ring? Didn't they find a texture or something that was used in a different game as well?
Yeah, a lot. But Souls games are known for recycling stuff, like a lot. So, if we just go over the areas, when you start playing Dark Souls 3, what was the first thing you have noticed as a change from Dark Souls 2?
From the areas, a lot.
Mm-hmm.
it's well, it's better designed. That's what I've noticed overall. Like much more details,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
much more things that make sense. Or
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
sometimes still there are still fuck ups, right?
Do you like to have a mana bar?
If you mean these changes, no. I personally don't, but
I mean, the big change is like in Dark Souls 2, you just get like, oh, you can cast this spell 4 times. But in Dark Souls 3, it's like, hey, you have this mana pool, cast as many times as like you can, which is much better system.
I don't know.
It is.
I don't know. It's still the same thing if you think about it.
No.
No, you can now you can all your spells you can cast them 4 times.
Imagine it
Like
like this.
all your spells are using the same pool plus your what are they called skills? Not no, Ashes of War is Elden Ring, right? Yeah, they also share the same pool.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like I don't like that system.
What? What? It's
I
much.
don't like mana.
It's
I'm not
much.
saying Dark Souls. I'm not saying the charges system is better. I'm just saying I don't like both systems. But I feel the way the thing they did in Dark Souls 2 with
Mm-hmm.
how often you can replenish your charges is what I like. Like at some point you have infinite charges basically by just eating these herbs. Like you have like 99 of them, and you're just stuffing them into your mouth. Like I know I have charges again.
Imagine it like this. In Dark Souls 2, your spells are basically like scrolls or cards or single use items. You use it once, that's it. But in Dark Souls 3, when you have the mana, you can see it as a liquid, and you can put that liquid into any shape you want. You can regenerate it, you can use it to cast one spell, then another spell, then do like a super move with your sword, then cast another spell. You don't have to switch it based on the amount of these scrolls you are using. That's why it's better
No,
system.
I don't know. Like the system works better. It's easier to use, definitely,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still the same problem. I feel like that it's just a like let's say you have a problem
Mm-hmm.
and you have one idea on how to make this problem less annoying.
Mm-hmm.
That's Dark Souls 2. And then Dark Souls 3 is they come up with another idea on how to make this problem a bit less annoying.
Mm-hmm.
But it's
Mm-hmm.
still annoying, and the problem still exists to me at least. A a full mage build is just not. And I mean, if they like, I would try to create a completely new magic system. Like I've already in when I've played Elden Ring
Mm-hmm.
on the channel, I occasionally made some discussion videos, right, where I talked about this, that. One of them was the magic system, where I talked about the magic system, how to change it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, this is my old view. I now have a much or a similar view on that, but a I thought about it more, right?
Tell me your view.
And it's not like currently I haven't addressed the mana though. That's the problem. I haven't thought about the mana though. No, first of all, magic in general feels a bit bland in all the games. I feel like.
Especially like in Dark Souls 1, it's just shoot a blue ball. This one is bigger, this one is slower.
Yeah, and that's
It's
basically in all the
horrible.
games.
In Dark
It's
Souls
basically in all the
2,
games.
they kinda make it more interesting because instead of because the magic really goes into different shapes and different speeds. Some is
Yeah, but at some point, it's the projectile.
yeah, it's mostly just like
Different. It's different projectiles, or
Yeah.
occasionally you have your melee attack that is very slow,
Mm-hmm.
not adaptable. In Dark Souls 3 they started with chaining,
Mm-hmm.
right, with the Farron Flash sword or whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The Which makes it a bit more viable. I mean, it's strong. Doesn't mean it's not strong, but it's still
Mm-hmm. I think
like
that
the
the
melee is much more interesting, right?
the game where they finally figured out how to make magic fun is Elden Ring. Before that is
Somewhat.
just shoot a
I mean,
ball.
the spells are definitely better in Elden Ring, but it's
Mm-hmm.
still not perfect. I still prefer uh, weapons, right? Regular weapons. And I think what they need is movesets, like spell movesets, instead of having your pew pew spell and your
Mm-hmm.
bigger pew pew spell, or maybe this spell is for melee.
Mm-hmm.
Why not just make a, like, instead of equipping single spells, right, with your D-pad on your uh, what would you call it, like the
Menu.
UI cross thingy, where you have like on the left is your shield, on the right is your sword, up is your magic, and down is your items that you use, right? Instead of equipping, yeah, like every single spell, why not make a either make magic. Um, let me see. I have my idea written down. Either make it so that you equip movesets, but that would mean that you had to, in Elden Ring terms now, that you had to reimagine every single spell, which would probably be too much work. But where is it? Elden Ring magic system there. Let me quickly open this so that I have an idea on. Didn't I finish that? Oh no, it's an older version. You know, at some point, I'm doing all of my stuff with Adobe stuff, right? With
Mm-hmm.
the Adobe Cloud, and I've done a long scroll page for me that you can print out as a PDF or something.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, Adobe doesn't want to save things anymore, even though, like, it's a bug. Like, it says no more cloud space, but the cloud is like, I have almost nothing saved. It's just bugged. It won't save anything anymore
Mm-hmm.
at some point. Um,
So, meanwhile, when you find that stuff,
no, I have it right here. But yeah, ask away.
mhm. So before we get to like the different areas and talk about them in more detail, what is like your favorite parts of Dark Souls 3?
Probably the second DLC.
The one with Gale?
I mean, he was present in Dark Souls in the first DLC
Okay,
as well.
okay.
But yeah,
You mean the Ring City?
yeah, Ring City probably.
Yeah, that one is really good.
I don't, first DLC was nice too, but I don't like snow. Um, that's the only reason I don't like snow. No, that's. I mean, it's another painting. I don't know why are all paintings snow areas? Can't you be sad in a summer area or something? Paint a summer painting, whatever. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, that's what that's something that I said, right? You're in the ringed city. What are you doing there, right?
Mm-hmm,
You're trying to get the blood from the dark soul. At least that's what's Gale doing.
mm-hmm,
And because the player just does something to explore, right? Why is the player in there? So that the player has content. Why is my character in there? There's no reason. They're just exploring, right? I mean, Gale at the first in the first DLC said like, "Here, touch painting. Okay, let me go in there."
mm-hmm,
And then you do the stuff the NPCs tell you, right?
Mm-hmm.
burn down this painting because shit is starting to rot.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's this girl that has the power to paint more paintings, right?
Yeah.
And Gale is trying to get her the pigment or whatever, right? So
Mm-hmm.
show her fire and then get the pigment. Apparently, in order to build these paintings, you need the blood of the dark soul for some reason.
Well, it's a literal portal to a different world. Do you think a normal paint would do that?
No, take the blood of the other souls, maybe. I mean, like, I have the soul of Gwyn here. I have the soul of the Witch of Isle. No, I need that one. I want the black pigment. I
I mean,
do the outlines with that.
have you ever talked to a painter? They are so autistically specific about the stuff they use. It's
I
insane.
I, I need this color. It's looking like this. No, it's totally different.
It's even worse when you are talking to a woman. It's like, hey, I need pink, so you give her pink, and she's like, oh, this is not pink. This is the losos fish color. Oh no, this isn't pink.
Yeah,
This is the
whatever.
rose color. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? I can't even see that many colors.
Well, but yeah, okay. Then Gale goes trying to retrieve the blood of the dark soul. At the end, he's noticing like, oh, these motherfuckers are dried out. There's no more blood. I guess I eat them now, right? And then you
Um,
come along and you stab them.
yeah,
That's what's going on.
no, like here is the thing. The color of the dark soul, it either means the blood of the hollows, or it means the blood of Manus.
I mean,
Manus is
who
dead.
had the dark? Yeah,
All
there are a
his
bunch of
daughters,
pigmies in there,
all his
right? If you
daughters are
if you
dead too. So who is
um,
left?
no no
Well, is Malus's
when
race, the pygmies.
yeah, you have a bunch of pygmies in the painting, not in the painting, in the ringed city. Like when you
It's
touch the egg,
it's
whatever
basically
happens, right?
when Gwyn went and he realized all these fucking pygmies, like I don't like them. They're short. Ew. So he just
Yeah, here is city. Go there.
mm-hmm,
You have my daughter. Have fun with her.
mm-hmm.
Whatever.
Yeah, like
And
all of
then
you ugly people go there, don't bother me, and I will just forget about you. And you will think that I am this great savior who gave you like a safe place. No, I'm just racist. Get out.
I mean, he's afraid.
I mean, Gwyn is he's basically Zeus. Like it's like, hey Zeus, do you like people? No, I'm afraid of them because they may think they are better than me. That's why I need to turn into duck and have sex with as many women as I can. And then you have Gwen who has like 6 billion daughters and like, they're just popping up with every DLC.
Yes,
Yeah,
as usual.
yeah, as usual. So it's the same with Elden Ring and the Mesmer guy. Like, where did he spawn from? Oh, all of a sudden there is this fucking guy who has snakes growing from his back. Where was he? Then, yeah.
No, these are just pet snakes, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He really likes snakes.
So the Ring City. Um, why do you like it?
Oh, wait a second. I'm trying to edit this fucking video and I'm fucking up every time. Because usually what I'm only doing when I'm editing the videos, right? I'm
Mm-hmm.
cutting off the beginning, I'm cutting off the end, and at the beginning and the end, I make the sound a bit less loud, right? A bit more silent. But at this time, because I was talking during the end cutscene, not the end cutscene, but where the credits are rolling,
Mm-hmm.
the fucking music was so loud I couldn't hear myself talking. Right, and I'm trying to tune that down right now. And I'm placing a keyframe, placing another keyframe, and then I forgot what I did before that.
Oh.
fucking up everything right now. Ah, it's not that difficult. Wait,
Well,
okay, I put
here's your
this.
mistake. You didn't skip the cutscene.
Why would I skip it?
It's like, why would you want to watch that? This is no Dark Souls 2. Uh,
The end. I'm talking about the end credits, right?
yeah, yeah, me too.
I mean, I have music in the background.
Okay, okay.
There's
So,
nothing to final thoughts and stuff like that, right?
so in the Ring City, uh,
If,
what are the parts that you like about it?
good question.
Hmm.
Probably the story. The story probably the most.
Mm-hmm. What
And
about
then
the
we see the
bosses?
Earth and Peak and ruins. I don't know. There are a bunch of good, but like every boss is good except Half Light, right?
Half Light?
Half Light, it's the church boss, right?
Oh, yeah.
The dude that can be replaced by every other player in the game.
It was really good boss fight when you could be the boss. When Dark Souls 3 was full of life.
Yeah, when
That's
you are the boss, it's fine, but when I don't know, it's a
it's
gimmick boss fight. It's a fun one, right?
mhm.
It's a fun thing.
It's
You
basically
don't
a
really count it as a boss.
PvP boss fight.
Yeah,
Um,
it's like
but
what?
honestly, I like it
Yeah,
more as a PvE when the boss isn't the player, but it's the guy with that katana.
a Half
So,
Light, right?
so do you know his story?
Nah,
You don't?
probably read it in the item description or
He
something. I don't
is
know anymore.
the only survival from Ulasil. The only
Never
one.
met him. Haven't met him in Dark Souls 1 though.
Yeah, that's because he was in the Ring City.
Ah,
hmm That's his whole story. When Ulasil was still alive and not turned into Proto Bloodborne, he left the city and went to the Ring City. But because he couldn't find out how to get back home, he just stayed there. And that's why he is so different from others. Like, he doesn't wear armor, he just wears a t-shirt. And the katana that he is using, it doesn't even have a blade. It's just made from this weird material that looks like if you put a hair into the shape and just freeze it.
wait, isn't he using the Midir katana? Isn't that the
Yeah,
exact same?
yeah. The one that shoots
Okay.
those laser beams. And also, he has a bow, and if you shoot arrow with that bow, that arrow turns invisible. And
Yeah, it's
Ulasil is
the
all about
white,
making stuff invisible.
yeah, white birch
Mm-hmm.
bow, whatever it's called. I don't know.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
thing that you find in the swamp.
Yeah. Like, it's such a good character. Like, hey, we need somebody special here. Why don't we make reference to Ulasil, the first ever DLC, in the last DLC?
I mean, they've done a bunch of things, right? For example, and I haven't noticed that during the playthrough itself. I've noticed that during the editing time, right? When I was thinking about that stuff. Oh no, when I was trying to get the thumbnail. Usually, what I'm doing if there's a boss in the game, right? I'm resetting the boss, then I'm trying to get a good screenshot in of something. And I've just know when you fight Gale,
Mm-hmm.
right? He's throwing that pygmy after you, similar to
Mm-hmm.
Artorias.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
He is
whatever.
also a dude that is kinda crawling on the ground.
I mean, what is strange? Like, where is he getting that that big hole in his chest from?
It's the Curse of the Hollow.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. Like the dark
okay,
ring
that
you have on your body. In Dark Souls 1, it's on your heart, and it kind of spreads. And in Dark Souls 2 is on your heart, and it spreads from there. And because he is basically killing the undead, so how do you gonna do it? If you cut his head off, he will just like grow it back and returns. These pygmies are immortal. So what is he gonna do? Well, he's gonna eat them, and he's gonna, like in Dark Souls 3, when you get married to what's that girl that is using
Andre.
the, yeah, Anri. When you marry her, you are taking her dark sign. You are becoming like you taking her curse on you. Gale is eating those pygmies. He is taking their dark side on himself. That's why he doesn't have just a mark. That's why he has this huge ass hole when his heart should be.
Okay, kind of strange that he didn't see the blood before that.
No, no, no.
Like he
The
should
thing
be
is,
bleeding out of that hole, right?
I mean, it's probably because it takes time to process it. But yeah, like
Gale is a very tragic character, right?
he is kind. Like all he
I
does
mean,
is just to help others.
the only thing that I don't really understand, because it's
Mhm.
another time thing, right? And time makes no sense in these games,
Mhm.
is the whole like, when is the fight against Gale? During what time? When is it? Not where is it. I know where I am, but
Mhm.
when am I?
Uh,
That's the question.
you are like thousands, 1,000 year into the future. Like you are when you go to fight the soul of Cinder, you see that all of these buildings are coming together.
Yeah, it's like Dragkeep again,
Hmm.
right?
So,
A Dragkeep, or let's say a ringed city,
mm-hmm,
before the fight or before touching the egg
mm-hmm.
thing and destroying it,
So,
and
mhm.
what's it called? And the Soul of Cinder is like the same time, during the same
Mhm.
time.
So if you imagine that you have all these buildings just grinding each other, destroying themselves,
Yeah,
ima-
but
imagine that
the
going.
other strange thing is,
Mhm.
in Dragkeep, or during Dragkeep, or during Soul of Cinder,
Mhm.
especially in Dragkeep, before you enter the ringed city,
Mhm.
you're going through destroyed parts of Lothric Castle, right?
Mhm.
You can see it, right? You have Lothric Knights there. If you Then later on, you even find Earthen Peak and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Good that place is destroyed. Sadly, the swamp survived. Um,
Fucking
but then in the arena, right, in Gale's arena, or in the
swamp.
wasteland, um, you can see Lothric Castle still standing in the background,
Yep.
and it is Lothric Castle.
Yep. You
Why
can
is that
also
still
see
there?
Anor London.
Yeah, why are these things still there?
Well,
I
first of
just
all,
saw them destroyed.
because it's something the player should like see in the distance and be like, oh, that's the thing. You know,
Yeah, but when I'm in the future, shouldn't that be destroyed even more?
um, yeah, but it's just so big that it's only partially destroyed. That's basically the
Like,
thing.
I flew over there
Mm-hmm.
with the camera.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't watched the video,
Not yet. I'm sorry.
it took like 10 minutes or something, right? I was just talking. I was flying there with the camera. It looks very intact.
Yeah, but it's just a texture.
They did an oopsie there. That shouldn't be there.
Yeah, it's
But yeah,
basically
okay.
just to tell you like, hey, you are like somewhere in the distance, but like everything
Oh,
is just went grinding on each other for so long that it's just fucking dust.
And what exactly is Filianor's egg doing? Is it like containing the dark soul so that no one can get there? Like it's just
Um,
imprisoning the pygmies,
the
or
egg.
what is it for?
Yeah, this is a thing that we don't have like a specific answer to, but basically, imagine that the egg is a time capsule, and when the egg rots away or is destroyed, her sleeping spell breaks, and the ring city stops being stuck in time and like ages rapidly. It's like when you are a time traveler and you are suddenly back in your time and then like, oh my god, I'm aging like 60 years and 2 seconds. Oh, that's basically what happens. Like that egg that she is holding is like the spell over the ring city that is keeping it from moving in time.
No, that's very obscure.
It's the only explanation you can get from just observing what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it,
Mm-hmm.
not too hard, but not too little, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just a bit, then it almost makes sense. If you think too hard about it, everything falls apart, right? And because everything with time travel makes no sense.
Yes,
Especially like that's another thing.
I don't like time travel.
I mean, that's another thing.
Mm-hmm.
Is every like time is convoluted? I get that, but what does that mean? What does it really mean? I have an example with Henri, for example, right? If you don't do the unrequest,
Mm-hmm.
you can help her defeating Aldrich,
Mm-hmm.
right? You can go kill your own Aldrich. You can get summoned by Henri and kill her Aldrich. Does that mean every Hollow, every Ashen one, whatever, has their own timeline? But doesn't that mean everyone is alone in that timeline? Or is this our time? Whose timeline is it? Right?
Yeah, bro, this is some Marvel bullshit.
Yeah. Eh? Like
Yeah.
why? I mean, I understand they don't want to do it similar to, and then you have Yorm and Sigurd, right? And all of
Mm-hmm.
the sudden he's fighting in your arena, right? You're not getting summoned by him like Henri. No,
Mm-hmm.
he just enters your arena.
Yeah,
So he's in your
that's
timeline, but when
that's
Henri has her own
yeah.
timeline,
I
and it's
mean
kind of
that is literally because Sigvard he just walked there. That's why it's taking him so long, and that's why he's getting lost and stuff like that. Henry, she just
she's also walking there. Like she started out in the halfway fortress, right? Then she walks through the catacombs. There she lost whatever his name, Horace or something, right? He lost him there,
but
or they
Henry
lost him
is
there.
part of a covenant, and that covenant basically, lore wise, it helps you to put like a time point where you are going to fight and you are ready to fight. You write your name down, and it basically, whoever comes there at any time point can enter this point where you are fighting that guy. And it doesn't matter if it's in your world or in her world. Once you defeat him, it counts for both of you.
But yeah,
It's
that's the problem. She has
it's
her own
like
world.
it's like Iron Tarkus in Dark Souls 1. Well, you are fighting that golem, and you can do it alone, and nothing really happens. Or you can summon Tarkus, who went to defeat, who is like hundreds and hundreds of years old, and he's dead. But you can still summon him from the time he was alive.
Yeah, but that's not really the problem. The problem is that everyone has their own world. That's the problem. Everyone has their own timeline.
It's
At least these NPCs, right?
it's
Like Anri has their own timeline. Sigurd is present during your timeline.
um
That basically means everyone is just alone and occasionally together, which is the problem. There
um
should be more people in one world, really.
think about it. Think about it like this. It's not that everybody has a different world. Is that everybody is working on different hour. Like let's say you are going to kill Aldrich at 3 p.m. Henry isn't there or there in 3 p.m. She went there or on like 1 a.m. different time. So she just pulls out like a calling card. So when you go there, you can share like her experience from the time she did the thing, which is fighting the boss. And
Yeah, but that is exactly the problem. That
I
this happens
I
multiple times.
yeah, the
That that
thing
that is the problem.
that's the part where time is convoluted. Like it's fucked up.
Yeah, that is their multiplayer, the
Yet, like
multiplayer
trying
shit.
to explain multiplayer or summoning
Um,
NPCs.
there you can't explain it.
Yeah,
It
you
makes sense,
can't
but
because it
it,
doesn't
it,
make sense. Like you cannot fight the boss twice.
yet
You just
this is
killed
why
him.
they shouldn't do it with NPCs, in my opinion. I mean, with other players, that's fine. They're playing their own game, right? Let them get the same experience as you. But other NPCs, like, let's say, why not make it just like Anri's quest is to kill Aldrich. That's
Hmm.
what she wants, right? And also Horace, but he gets lost at some point. Some, how did he end up down there? Who cares? Um, but yeah, why not make it so that either you can summon Anri, that she helps you with your Aldrich,
Hmm.
or when you kill Aldrich alone, she at some point arrives in her arena, in the arena, sees that Aldrich is dead and thanks you somewhat, or I don't know. She appears in Firelink Shrine again and says, "Oh, thank you for doing that. Why didn't you summon me, you idiot?" Right?
Hmm.
That would make more sense than there are multiple Aldriches timelines. Like she's being, they're acting like she's another player character, so to speak. Like
Yeah.
they're giving her the player character experience, which is not. You shouldn't do that with NPCs. I feel like because the time thing is already fucked up. You don't want to fuck it up more.
Yeah, like it doesn't matter. Like if we are trying to make sense of it,
Yeah, you can't.
it's
It's a
just
time thing. You
fucking
can, you
weird.
can't.
Like this
Same
is
thing
one
with
of the
Sirius,
things.
right?
This is one of the things that are like, okay, it's just gameplay. Let's not think
Yeah.
about it too hard
I
because
mean, it's same thing with Sirius, really, right? She's being treated as another player character, so to speak. Because at some point, I just did it like 40 minutes ago, so right, where you, yeah, I was wrapping up all the NPC quest lines. I did like Sirius quest line, the ending where you help her kill her grandfather, right?
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah, yeah. That
in the pit of hollows, like he died for me, like the tree fell on him. That's how he died in my world. Apparently, she never killed the giant tree in her world.
hmm.
Um, I mean, she's using a S dog, so that's fine. Is it called? No, is it called S dog?
Yeah,
Yeah, the
the
stupid
try hard
poke weapon.
weapon.
And she's not dealing any damage, so that's the stupid. She has like Moonlight Blade or whatever it's called. It's
Hmm.
called Moonlight Blade. She's dealing no damage to any NPC whatsoever. She's the NPC with the less amount of damage of all of the summons. She deals
And
no damage
moonlight
at all.
and the moonlight buff is the strongest in the game,
Yeah, it's
and
the
also the
strongest buff,
most
and she still deals no
painful to get.
damage. Like, what the fuck are they doing with her? Like, I don't know if you've seen the video where against the Dragon Slayer armor, right? I like to summon NPCs and let
Hmm.
them fight the boss first.
Hmm.
Um, what's his name? Aegon
Yeah, the
almost killed
gargoyle
the
guy.
Dragon Slayer armor. He almost killed that thing.
Mm-hmm.
alone. Like he dealt like 3/4 of his HP bar.
Yeah, when he can
Like
actually
he's
hit
probably
with
the
that.
strongest summon.
Yeah, like he's carrying with himself like a pillar he stole from some building. Like when he actually connects that with something, yeah, it packs a punch. But like hit
And
with
then a
that thing.
series with the buff, and she's dealing like 10 damage. 10 damage. She gets hit once. Oh, my health is gone. Let me walk backwards and use my miracle thing.
Uh,
Then I'm
well,
getting hit
you see,
again.
the explanation is that she is a woman.
Thanks, Miyazaki. And then we have Frida, right?
Frida, yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
then we have Frida with her 3 lives, right?
Mm-hmm,
Oh, I'm Ambered now. Phase 2. This time with the dude in the wheelchair, right?
mm-hmm,
And the Lord Vessel. Why
mm-hmm.
was there a Lord Vessel? Why was that dude having a Lord Vessel in his hands?
Uh,
Um, and
it's
better question is, how did my Dark Souls 1 character fit that into his pocket? Nah, but like Frida has 3 phases. Series has like, okay, go away.
the thing is, if we are talking about the first DLC, well, actually, I there are few things that I want to talk about the second DLC. Well, we are
Yeah,
talking for an hour. Let's just do it. So in the second DLC, people
Ring
like
City.
it a lot because there is a lot of cool shit happening. One of the cool
Yes.
shit that is happening are those ring knights that have those dragon shields and those lightsaber swords. That's one
Yeah,
thing.
pretty cool.
That looks fucking awesome. Other thing is that we are finally getting solution to Glap. And the big reveal is that he is the bald head patches all along. Miyazaki's favorite NPC.
I mean, if you know the voice actor, then you already knew who that is, right?
Yeah,
From the beginning. Oops,
yeah.
sorry.
Also, his name is Lap, which is like a second word for patches. But honestly, his whole quest line is pretty funny. Him
But
forgetting
it's
who
kind
he
of
is.
strange.
Hmm?
Like, how does the purging monument is basically just a bigger purging stone, right?
Yep.
How does that restore your memory?
Uh,
It's against curses. It's supposed to stop you
yeah.
from being cursed.
Well,
Oh no, it restores memories now. Here, eat this purging stone, idiot.
it's basically like, hey, purging stone will heal your curse. You are hollow. That is your curse. You need a bigger stone. That's basically
Yeah,
it.
I've, it's like a moral dilemma, really, right? If they've done that quest line, if they would make it better, like they would give the player a choice whether to restore his memories or not, right? By telling him where the purging monument is or not, right? But
Well, that's what you do.
I mean, you're telling him where to do where, but the thing is, you only have one choice, really, because not telling him gives you no reward,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
but
like that.
not telling him would be better for the player character, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, who wants Patches back? Lap is a nice guy. Patches is an idiot,
Patches is a
right?
fucking cunt.
Yeah. So why would I restore his
You
memory? Of
only keep
course.
him alive because he became like a trader. That's the
I
only
mean,
reason why people keep him alive. Otherwise, like, who would want to watch his bald head?
yeah. Why not make it so that you have to decide, right? You get reward number one, which is like
Mm-hmm.
you restore his memories, and you're getting your. I don't know, do you get a Titanite slab? I think you get a Titanite slab or something for that.
Yeah,
Whatever.
it's
And then
always
maybe
like some
with.
upgrade material as the end of the quest line.
I mean, it's nice. It's useful at least.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, a weapon or something like that would be cooler, but you already get that
Mm-hmm.
glaive of his, like from the first merchant you meet.
Yeah, his glaive is awesome and his armor is awesome too.
Yeah, but why not give us the choice to not restore his memories so he stays nice, and then give us another reward for that? That would give the player more choices,
Well, that's because
and also,
Miyazaki is a sick guy that loves his poison swamps and his bold guys, kicking
I
you
mean,
into holes.
I wasn't really sure if the swamp would poison me or not, right? Because usually I have cheat engine running and I have like no status effects on, right? So
Mm-hmm.
so that I'm not getting poisoned while I'm not seeing it and then randomly dying. So I wasn't sure really. I turned it off, right? I went to the swamp, nothing happened. So is it bugged now or no? This one is not poisoning you, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not cursing you because I thought like I mean, it would make sense. Imagine Miyazaki would say, "Yeah, let's cut this poison part. This one curses you.
Mm-hmm.
Why not make it like that, right?"
Well, because the swamp is like half of the fucking map. It would be too cruel. Oh yeah, one thing.
Exactly.
There is this hidden path that to access it you need to use the white branch and turn to yourself into the
Yeah.
humanity ghost. Without internet, you would never find it out.
No. Show
What the
show your
fuck?
humanity. That's the only message you're getting, right? Show
Yeah.
your
That
humanity.
is like the worst fucking part of all of Dark Souls 3.
I mean, the only thing I can like without looking it up, without getting the info from the developers, may what could happen could, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very unlikely, but let's say someone reads that
Mm-hmm.
and it's in the back of their mind.
Mm-hmm.
Then they're invading someone. They're trying to trick them by turning themselves into an object, like using one of these branches or use a chameleon or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the swamp area because they're invading there. They turn into the humanity sprite, and then all of the sudden they like, oh, maybe I need to bring that there. That's the only thing that I can think of, right?
Mm-hmm.
How it could work.
It's insane. You would never find it out. Yeah.
I mean, why would you? That leads to the purging monument. You don't want to complete the quest line.
I mean, some people actually like patches. I call
I mean,
this.
I like him too, like because he's a iconic character, right? That's the only reason.
I don't like him. He's bald.
He's he's a fun character. That's the good thing. Like
Yeah,
he's Miyazaki's character.
yeah,
He's
you even get
Miyazaki's
his ring
self-insertion.
of kicking butts. What was your reaction when you saw the giant from Dark Souls 2, the tree
Uh, what giant?
in Majula?
Huh?
When you go in Dark Souls 3 to the Firekeeper, her house, on one side, when you enter it, there is the tree from Dark Souls 2 that is the dead giant,
Oh, the one that gives you the
the seed.
tree of the seed of giant. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool. That thing. That mechanic is still there. That's what I thought. Like,
Oh, that's cool.
like
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
literally it. Like, those giants never appear again, and I kinda miss them.
like.
Yeah.
Do you see? No, your arm has no hole. Like his armor set. In his armor set, he has this hole.
Eh,
That's the homage to the Dark Souls 2 giants.
that's also
Yorm's
a
armor.
thing. Like, the whole point of Dark Souls 3 is that everything has been tried. Everything that could happen happened. You have humans throwing themselves into fire as one person, as the champion. You have a group of people, the the wolf watchers, going there as a group. You have a pygmy, Ludlef, that link the fire, and we see how that works. You have a giant who tried to link the fire and it backfired. And then you have
I mean, he succeeded, didn't he?
Ludlev. He actually
No, like all of them succeeded except Lorien or Lothric.
mm,
Like like
well,
the other ones were Lords of Cinders.
mhm,
They already linked the fire once,
mhm.
except like it was Lothric's turn, but he said, "No,
No, I
I don't
want the
want to."
light. I want angels.
You getting a bunch of light if you light yourself on fire? Bright enough.
Yeah, talking about the angels. So, when you are fighting the Dragon Slayer armor, he's lifted up by those pilgrim butterflies.
Yeah.
Lore wise, the pilgrim butterfly and the angels are the same thing.
Also, the angels from the Drake Keep or not? Or are these even
From
different?
the
I don't know.
DLC, they shoot lasers at you.
And they look completely different, and they have a parasite that you need to kill in order to get rid of them.
Yeah,
So
but
I feel like they're completely different.
um, they definitely look different, but lore
Oh, what
wise,
I
they are the same. Because,
have you looked? Have you looked at the Drake Keep angels from up close?
yeah, they look like some monster from Bloodborne.
They look similar to the like instead of having legs, they're
Mm-hmm,
having like the locust legs. By the way,
mm-hmm,
they look similar to the locusts from the Ringed City swamp,
mm-hmm.
which is interesting.
Yeah, they are definitely more like bug themed.
I mean, I think I flew very close to them during that episode.
So let's go. Okay, let's now talk about the first DLC, the Painted World, and then we're gonna do area by area.
Yeah,
Mhm.
let's go.
So the first DLC, you have wolves, you have flies, you have tree women, and you have Vikings.
It's kind of boring, right? Like, the wolves are they are an upgrade to dogs. Their AI
Wolves
is much
are
better.
just wolves.
Yeah, but they
Eh.
could just slap in the regular dog and give them a reskin. But
Mhm,
their AI is a bit different, right?
mhm,
The wolves try to surround you. They're not trying to attack you all at the same time. It feels a bit fairer than fighting multiple dogs at once,
mhm.
right? So I appreciate that. The followers, I don't know, they're kind of boring. Uh,
Yeah, they are just soldiers. But the Vikings, if you read
yeah,
their
the Midwood
descriptions,
Knights.
those Vikings are from Elden Ring.
I really think them.
No, no, no.
Nah,
In their
they don't.
descriptions, it talks about this huge ass tree that basically controls their world, and they went from their
I
world.
mean that could be a.
Hmm.
I don't know when did they hire George R. R. Martin to write the story for Elden Ring, because I didn't think I don't think that Miyazaki just took the. This might be a coincidence.
No, no, no. Miyazaki was obsessed with giant trees ever since Demon Souls. But
Yeah,
like,
sure.
if you read the description of those Vikings armor, yeah, they are from Elden Ring. The
I
same
mean,
way,
yeah, it could be a very very small teaser, maybe, right?
the same way that Marvelous Chester is is from Bloodborne in Dark Souls 1. The guy with that top hat and.
How I imagine this to happen is like we have this one project,
Mhm,
but it's not fully complete yet. So
mhm,
let's make a small hint at it,
mhm,
right?
mhm,
We have this idea, but
mhm. That's
like
it.
if you look at Marvelous Chester, it's not like he goes in a different direction. Like he is Bloodborne esque,
Mhm.
but he kind of feels like more like yeah, what's this game? I don't know what this weird game is called. I've never played it, but where these people have these weird grins, like the grin, like the mask from Chester.
That mask
Uh,
is. from the V for Vendetta, the hacker guy.
Yeah, but it looks like this other game. I have no idea what it's called. It's not a From Software game. It's completely different. But
Yeah, I don't know the name.
is
But
it called We Happy Few? Is it that?
but in the same vein that Chester was a reference to, hey, we are working on Bloodborne, those Vikings were like, hey, we are working on Elden Ring, haha, which is a very
Oh no,
nice touch.
it is called We Happy Few.
Hmm.
Yeah, never
Yeah.
played that game.
So then you get to the whole bird village, and you see that these birds are just like awful. They are rotting. They are drowning in their shit and all this disgusting stuff. And you found Gail's house.
Not really a house, right? Like, yeah,
It's
I guess where you find his armor set in, right?
mhm, mhm. That's where Gale used to live. That's where his armor is there. And then you find the simp knight. What do you
Yeah,
think about him?
his voice actor is or his voice recording is very, very strange. I feel like that's the first thing that no, really, like, if you listen to him and compare this to any other character,
Mm-hmm.
like it sounds like the mixing of his voice is like almost like the game is still on right now. The game. I'm still running the game. Like everyone has this very open area sound effect to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And his voice really sounds like like the voice actor had this helmet on. Like it's like the recording booth where he recorded the voice is very tiny and tight, and like the mixing feels. That's what I first thought about him. Really, like nothing lore related, nothing game related. Like how did they? That sounds different. Like every other NPC, when you talk to them,
I
they
wouldn't
almost
be.
sound like the same, with the same mixing kind of thing. But he sounds different.
I
He's the
would not
only
be
one.
surprised if he went to voice record it in a helmet.
Yeah. I mean, who even is he? I don't know. Let's see.
I think his
I've
name
read
is
his stuff.
Wilhelm or something like that.
Yeah, well, he is Onyx Blade. It's kind of strange, the Onyx Blade, right?
Yeah, that's the big thing
Elfrida the
about
eldest.
him.
Yeah, but Elfrida, the eldest amongst her sisters and leader of the Sable Church, bestowed the sword to her knight. Good. So
Mm-hmm.
far, so good. Only the sword was a farewell gift. An acceptance signified the knight's resignation from Elfrida's service. That's literally the item description, which basically means she gave it to him and he resigned from his job, but then he's still on her side. Eh?
Yeah, that's
Like
why we're calling
that,
him
that's kind
Simp.
of strange.
Well, she basically told him, hey, have this sword and fuck off. But he is still there.
That sounds like he did good. He did a good job. Like he wanted to resign, whatever. Here, have the sword. Like they have 1,000 onyx blades there in
Yeah.
the Sable Church, wherever that thing is.
Um. Yeah. So
In Londor.
yeah, in London.
Where Londor? I don't know.
London,
Like
where the snakehead from Dark Souls One went. What is his name?
also
Frant?
like Donald Trump,
No,
Framed,
no, no,
right?
no, no.
Framed and Karth,
Yeah, I think it
the
was.
two primordial
I
serpents.
think it was Cat. Or
Karth is the one in the abyss, or in
no, no.
what's the deal with that? Like,
Hmm.
where are the four kings? They're in a well or something, right?
Yep.
Why is it black down there? Is this part of the abyss? But then what is Manus' abyss? There are two different abysses.
No, it's just
Like,
one abyss, but this one is like the Canada of Abyss, and you are in Germany of Abyss.
Yeah, but the one it's probably due to the limitations they had, but it's very strange how they made it. Like it's a very big room, and then in the middle of the big room, they made an invisible platform and they turned off the lights completely, right?
Yep.
Like if you like, was it Zully the Witch who showed that, or someone else, another YouTuber, whatever? How the room looks like it's much bigger than it actually is.
Yeah, I think it's
It's much deeper down. That's so
Zuli the
creepy. I hate it.
Witch or the other hackers.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
it's pretty. Yeah,
about Fried, what do you think about her?
it's kind of strange. Like I like do. First of all, who is what's his name? Ariandel.
Mm-hmm.
Is it his name? Yeah,
Father
who is he?
Ariandel.
What is this dude? Who is he? Why is she with him? Because I don't like Sister Fried is from the Sable Church, right?
Mm-hmm.
Same as Uriah, their sisters, whatever.
Basically, the thing is, where Framt appeared to these three sisters, he told them, hey, the Age of Dark is actually pretty fucking cool. You want to be leaders of Hollows? Yeah. And Fried was like, yeah, I'm not going to do this anymore. Like, let's say she did it for like 10 years and then she decided that, yeah, I'm not actually gonna do it. So she ran inside of the painting where she wants to be alone and everything like that. She found this tall guy that was painted to be the leader of this painting, you know. And she was like, well, I'm actually gonna like be your wife or like your caretaker
So
or.
you mean, so you mean he got painted into the world?
Mhm. He was
So
just
he's not a being
always
from
like
outside.
the leader from the world. Free.
Because usually you have these paintings as a refuge, right?
Mhm.
Or as a prison
Mhm.
in Priscilla's case.
Mhm.
But why was he painted in there? That makes no sense. But
Because the painting
and
needs
why?
a lord.
Yeah, sure. Why not just put him in there?
Well, he was born there. The strange thing is, uh, if you go into the most lower part of the DLC, where it's just basically ice, there is this one tree lady, and she has a very
Yeah,
different moveset from everybody else.
where you get that spell from, right? Is it
Mhm.
no? Is it a spell? Which
She
one is it?
is mother of Pontiff Sullivan.
Yeah.
Sullivan,
Is it frozen weapon?
I think
Ah,
it's the frozen mist.
no, the snap phrase you get from
Mhm.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. You get a
So
spell
the
there.
thing is, you have this painting. You know that Frida went in from our world to the painting, and probably because she opened the way, Pontiff Sullivan
Sullivan got out or what?
got out and started to do his shit when he realized, oh, the world is actually much bigger than I thought. I want to conquer it. So he went to the lower part of Anor Londo and he found Aldrich, who was probably just eating something, and he decided, hey, I'm gonna use this all eating slime as a nuke, and I'm gonna send him to kill the gods of Anor Londo and take over.
Yeah.
Pontiff Sullivan was supposed to be the big bad of the game, but he's just a boss now.
I mean, sure.
Mhm. But it's
There are multiple
interesting that
different
we actually have
storylines, right?
somebody who went from the painting out.
Yeah, I don't know. Is it that strange? How do you even get out?
Well, you
That's the
need,
question, right?
well, you need somebody to open the door for you, which was Frida. Because In the paintings, you're only supposed to go inside, not outside. But
I mean, Dark Souls 1, you could just jump into the
mhm.
abyss and you
But
got
also
out,
you
right?
have Gale who just like went out and he took part of it with himself. So I guess it's
I
not
mean,
that hard.
like Gale managed to get out. Like the question is where's the rest of the painting? Like it rotted away, probably, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like his the strangest thing is how can Gale carry that piece of the painting around with himself without getting sucked into it?
Exactly.
That's the strange part.
Yeah. Like the mechanic of the paintings are kind of weird. Like, how do you paint? Like, imagine you are painting this thing, and like halfway through, you just fall into it. Or do you need to like finish
Yeah,
it and like put your name on it to activate? Or
yeah.
like, how does this
It's like
work?
once you've painted like 50% of it, right?
Mhm.
Right over the border, the painting becomes active. You're getting sucked in. Not again.
I
Oh
guess you like
no.
need to want to go into it. Let's not think
He
about
just
that.
said, touch it. I touched the painting and I just got sucked into it. Like, I didn't want to go in there.
Yeah, he kind of tricked you into that.
He just used the thing as like a vacuum cleaner. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Like,
I wonder if you can actually vacuum with that thing. Hold it against like dirt or something. Dirt gets sucked into that thing. Would be funny.
yeah, like imagine like, oh, I have this trash. Let's just put it into the painting. Haha. Now it's your problem.
I mean, they can just toss it off the cliff, right?
Let's throw it into the bird village. They're already living in shit.
Uh, what I find extremely strange
Mm-hmm.
with the painting, why do they want to keep the painting rot? Why do they want to keep it rotting away?
Uh,
That's the strange thing. That's disgusting. Don't they find it disgusting? I
well,
mean,
you see that one
they,
hollow at the beginning that told you, oh, the rod is actually pretty nice. It's soft and comfy and it's warm. I don't want to freeze my ass over here.
but yeah, that was a disgusting piece of shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Frida and Ariandel. I mean, they imprisoned the girl who wanted to paint a new
Mm-hmm.
painting. Like, why not just go in that painting then? That's much better. That's new. It's not rotting. Why
But
not just
it's
go in there?
yeah, but it's not the one that they were born in, and thus it's bad because it's not the original. That
Who
isn't the painting
cares?
of Ariandel. It's the painting of this little girl. And who
No,
is
no, it's the
she?
painting of. It's now the painting of Black Yoshi, apparently.
Yeah.
That's the canon. Like, she asked me my name. My character's called Black Yoshi.
Mhm.
That is now the new painting's name, officially.
Mhm. That's why you need a black soul to draw it.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, she needs to. Like, do you always need to burn a painting for that? Like, she needs to see fire for some reason. She
Nah,
needs
it's
this
look
very
the
special
no 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 no.
pigment.
The thing is, the whole point of the DLC with the painting is that, hey, this is like other thing. This is not the cycle of fire that the Gwyn started and it's just going over and over. No, no, no. This is something else. This is the painting. The cycle of the painting is, hey, the painting is made of this paper. That paper is gonna rot away eventually. We are not like those fucking cretins that are just prolonging the life by throwing people into the fire again and again. No, our world is ending. We know it. We accept it. Let's just paint a new one. All of us hop in and let it rot away. But then you have Frida, who is like, no, this is our home and we will rot away with it. Nobody gets saved because this is our home. You want to save yourself? You are bad. That's
I
the
mean,
That's the whole
You want to
point of
save
the DLC.
yourself? Also, the strange thing is, like, not everyone can see bonfires, apparently.
Yep.
That's so who can see them? The undead? The Ashen One? I mean, Frida can see it.
Can the hunter from Bloodborne see it?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, they can see lamps
I mean,
and loading screens.
I mean, this is one of the also like a gameplay thing. Just don't think too hard about it,
Like, no, like, it
unless
was
it's
perfectly.
mentioned.
I mean,
It doesn't matter.
it was perfectly fine before Frida said, like, you can see it, the bonfire over there, right? Why wouldn't I see that thing? You mean not everyone can see that? Thanks for telling me that.
Hmm.
Another question that I have, right? Like,
The
she could
thing
just say, take the
is,
bonfire, fuck off.
Frida, uh, she has the power of the black flame, like
Yeah.
like the only one. And like, what the fuck is the black flame like? Huh? Where did that came from?
From Elden Ring.
No, yeah, the black flame in Elden Ring, that's something
She
else.
the gloomed eye queen or whatever it's called.
Yeah, but
It's
like
not Melina.
in Dark Souls 3, the black flame is basically like if I got this correctly, it's basically like burning the curse of the hollows. And because she has this power, her quest, she is like the chosen one, and she is supposed to like bring the new word, which by the word of Framt is the word of the hollows. She is basically the hero from Dark Souls 2 after he chooses to the Dark Age and not
I
to
mean,
the
Black
Fire.
Flame, like, we have similar things to that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, not exactly the Black Flame, but we get very close to that as
Mm-hmm.
normal people, so to speak. Like, we already, like, we have affinity or something, like the like
Mm-hmm.
Dark Edge, something like
Yeah, yeah.
These are spells made of humanity, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Then there is here the soul drags or something. These
Yeah.
projectiles that is magic with the deep infusion or with
Mm-hmm.
corrupted by the deep, right? And then you could probably like pyromancy plus humanity, something like that, mixed together. Oh, you have black fire.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh no, we have black fire orb as well. Never mind.
Yep.
Volnir has also the power of that black flame.
Does
Pyromancy
he?
discovered where Grave Warden after High Lord Volnir fell into the abyss. Discovered by the Grave Wardens after High. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Black Flame Orb, Black Flame.
Yep. It's basically the abyss.
Yeah,
That's it.
it's pyromancy from the abyss. It's like,
Yeah.
there are more people that can do that.
So let's go now area by the area. So
Yeah.
you start in the high wall of Lothric.
Oh, of the entire game. Okay, okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
I thought you meant DLCs. Yeah,
well, we basically talked about the DLCs.
yeah. But thought you meant the DLC areas, like the small parts. Like here we have the road, here we have the swamp, and so okay, yeah. High Wall
Nah,
of
nah, nah,
Lothric.
nah, nah. That's
Pretty good
not necessary.
start.
Like the only thing we can add to that is that in the Ring City, like you can see like the darkness is seeping out, and that's like the poison swamp they have there without the poison.
Yeah, Midir is eating that stuff a bit
Hmm.
or
And that's
farting or
why they
whatever.
have those locusts to eat it, and they have Midir to eat it because like where
Oh,
do you put it?
yeah. There's one thing.
Hmm.
The locusts are telling stories, right? A few. Like I think there are three of them
Hmm.
who are talking to you and telling stories.
Hmm.
but it feels like they're telling like the three locusts, and all three of them are telling two stories. Like locust number one is telling story A and B, part one. Locust number two is telling story A and B, part two, and then the third, the last part of both stories. It feels like because, and I could figure out like the story of possibly Alva and Zully.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the first story, but the second story, if there are two stories, maybe it's just their story they're telling, but I couldn't figure out the second story if there is a second story or a third or whatever. Do you know what stories they're telling?
I don't remember it, but it's about the stuff you see in the Ring City. One is about Zuli and Alva and how they love each other and blah blah blah. The second is like about Ledo, which is like the guy with that big hammer. And the third one
Mm.
is, I think, about the pygmies. I don't remember, to be honest.
So, minute of
Yeah.
saying, blah, 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 blah. There's nothing in there. Wayfarer Knight that was probably Alva. That doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter. So,
Who slew their own kin?
okay, so let's
One
get
poor girl
to
slew her own kin, yeah.
High Wall of Lothric.
Three areas, yeah.
The.
They started strong with that.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Pretty good area.
pretty good area. In this, like, there are three things you can see there that are actually like worth of saying something. You found Grey Rat. What do you
Yeah.
think about him?
Probably the most likable thief there is.
Yeah, I like him. He's like the Robin Hood of the series.
I mean, he's a thief,
Mm-hmm.
but he's a nice thief, whatever.
Yeah,
However that works. I
well,
don't know.
it works very easy. He just goes, steals from the rich, and he sells it to the poor,
I'm
or
not that
gives it.
poor.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm?
Like the guys with that head that the Grey Rat wears, they are slaves.
Yeah, the what
The
do they
little
call it? They're
guys.
called,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, thrall, right? Yeah.
Troll, it's just different word for slaves, and mm, like him being the first NPC, and he's actually like the most developed. Like you found his wife, which has been sacrificed to the deep, and he gets all sad about it, but he also like motivates himself to work for you. I
Yeah.
think he is like after Solaire and Sigmar, he's like the best boy of the series.
Solaire and Sigmire.
Mm-hmm. The second part.
Is there another NPC? I mean,
Hmm?
Andre is iconic as well.
Yeah, but
But yeah,
he's just a blacksmith. Okay, the second part in the Lothric castle that is interesting. It kind of continues to the other parts of the Lothric. Is those dragons?
yeah, the drawing mechanic is so shit.
The thing
I
is,
don't. I'm not a fan of these drawings.
uh,
Like they're just they sadly just use them as uh, like what's it called,
uh,
hazards,
yeah, yeah,
right? They're
yeah.
just there to
Environment
deny
hazards.
area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the sad thing about them.
Yeah, like they are definitely less important to everything, but the thing is like we finally have a kingdom where people and dragons are friends.
Didn't feel like it.
Really?
Nah, nah, nah. That didn't felt like
Okay
it at
then.
all.
Okay.
He just lands there and lights everything on fire.
Yeah, but everything is already hollow. And the
Yeah,
third
then
thing is
fuck
the
off and let me alone. Let me loot my stuff.
the third thing is the pass of man.
Yeah, that's the bullshit mechanic, basically.
Hmm.
That's their biggest bullshit mechanic. Probably something I've I don't even know what that's supposed to be.
It's your humanity running wild, like in Dark
So
Souls.
okay, that's supposed to be humanity. Why do they have
Hmm.
not why, but why is that shit in dragons? Like you have these two stupid twin dragons in Lothric Castle
Hmm.
before you go to the Dragon's Lair, or a bit before that, right?
Hmm.
They're making fire everywhere. You jump down the
Yeah, I
bridge, you
know, I
go
know.
around. Why is that shit in their claws? Like, why are they affected by that bullshit?
Well, it's because
Like,
yeah, like they. How can they have humanity? They are dragons. Why is this
I mean,
happening to them? Well, because
yeah,
it's
they
like
can eat. They can eat people, sure,
yeah,
that have
because it's.
humanity. They can absorb it. It's not that
Hmm.
not that problematic. But like the way they're using that it's erupting. First of all, it's like a bomb, right? You have these hollows that
Hmm.
go to you. They have no weapon in there, and they just explode. All of the sudden, this shit is attacking you right now, right? But like if you go if you go in DLC one, right,
Hmm.
Elden Ring, from Dark Souls one, right? You have these people that got corrupted by humanity or by the abyss, right? They're bloated with many eyes, many red eyes, whatever. That's fine. Then you have the humanity sprites,
Hmm.
or the ghost, whatever you want to call them, that are floating at you. That's humanity being free, right? They're not bound to something. They're not possessing something, whatever you want to call that.
Yep.
But then you have this stupid mix from Dark Souls 3. All of the sudden, it's that
Weird snake.
liquid liquid looking snake with unfittingly horns sticking out of there. Like they have these omen horns
Hmm.
that they use for the omens in Elden Ring, and all they're sticking out of there. This I don't that design doesn't fit at all. I feel
Yeah.
like they could have just gone with a similar approach to Dark Souls 1, where they got
Hmm.
already corrupted, or something more like they feel more like a liquid right now, the snakes.
Hmm.
And in Dark Souls 1, I guess there's supposed to be that sludge that you see on the ground, right?
Hmm.
And no, I'm not a fan of it. Like
It's
the sprites
definitely.
are, yeah, it's something different. They've tried
Hmm.
something different. Luckily, they didn't implement the ulcerated tree spirits or whatever they're called from Elden Ring, because that was a Dark Souls 3 enemy at one point.
Yeah.
Like,
Um.
luckily, they didn't use that in this game.
Hmm. So then we continue. Let's just do the all holotric parts together. Um.
Yeah,
So you have the wall. We talked about that. Then.
I really enjoyed the wall. I
Mhm.
not so much enjoyed
Do you like
the
the wall?
garden is shit.
Mhm.
Let's start with the garden. The garden is shit, right?
So there are two bosses. There is Volnir, the the dog man, who like
Or Vort,
everybody.
Vort, yeah.
Vort, yeah, 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 the dog. And then you
I
have
mean, it's
the.
a dog,
Mhm.
and then you have a dancer, right? So
I mean,
next to
he's the
each other.
source of the boss music meme. And then you have the dancing lady. So
And both got corrupted by whatever.
both of
What's
them.
his name? Sullivan did,
Mhm.
right?
There are agents of Sullivan, and he sent
Yeah,
them
they're
there to
out.
be spies.
Yeah, they're out. You can't send that fat fuck over there and say it's a spy.
I mean, he was looking okay when he was leaving. Like you see the ghosts of these two leaving uh, the Sullivan City.
Oh, that's supposed to be them. Okay.
Yeah, that's these two before they got like full on beast.
But don't you see more of them? Like more spirits leaving there? I mean, it could be the other Outrider Knights that are
Mhm.
in Lothric Castle as well, right?
Mhm.
Sure.
Yeah.
The sad thing is you only see them in Irithyll, so you don't really draw the connection at that point.
And, well, you when you are more observant, you do.
I mean, they're using a similar technique to that they used in Dark Souls 1 during the transition between where you place the Lord Vessel and then the kiln of the First Flame, where you see all these uh, burned ghosts going through the white
Mhm.
transition area.
Yeah, yeah. Yep. So then you have the library with those uh, candle monks.
Yeah.
Do you like those?
Nah, why do they have so many cursed books over there? That's the question. Where are all the cursed books coming from? Like, this
Why?
library is full of that shit. And of course, they're using the candle wax. Somehow they found out the candle wax shields you from being cursed. Like, what the fuck is that? So they have this big bath of molten wax where you dip your head into so that you can read these books apparently without getting cursed. What the fuck? Who comes up with that shit? I mean, easy method would be you put that book very carefully somewhere, open it, and then from far away you can maybe read it without the hands cursing you, whatever. I don't know. You don't need to dip your head in wax.
Yeah, like
Eh,
what the fuck is that?
like,
Let's say it's definitely unique, but like,
it is unique.
but like, how did you came with the idea of wax, cursed books, and somehow crystal magic? How? Why?
I guess, okay, yeah, the crystal magic of Sif curses.
Mm,
At least in Dark Souls 1, right? Like
yep.
his crystal explosion thing. You're slowly getting cursed. It
Mm,
takes ages, but you probably die from the damage before you're getting cursed, by the way,
yeah.
right?
Uh,
Um,
so the books are all about magic. It's all about, hey, there used to be this fucking dragon. He was seed. He was crippled. Hated everybody, and he developed like magic from his cripple dragon fire that wasn't fire at all. It was this blue pew pew, and that's why those books are cursed, because they talked about Sith and magic and the origin of
yeah,
magic, which is the crystal stuff.
because apparently writing that down curses shit. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's so I don't know. I'm not a fan of that. It's just it's just a poison swamp with extra steps, really, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you need to watch your step.
Yep. And so these scholars are like, hey, we cannot like read about this magic because it's cursed us. So what do we do? Hmm. Well, there used to be
Dip
this Demon Souls game with the lady who had wask over her eyes. So let's just do that, but with our whole face.
Are you talking about the Maiden in Black there?
Yep.
What? Okay, like, okay, they had this thing already thought out, I guess, partially, which is I
Yeah,
don't know,
like
feels strange.
it's basically like, hey, we need to cover our eyes, but using like glasses. That's too normy. Let's be more metal about it.
But I mean, it works, right? It
Yeah, it
doesn't
does.
feel out of place. That's the interesting part. It
Hmm.
doesn't feel out of place, even though it should be.
Hmm. And then you have the second mage twin in there.
Yeah,
I mean, he's just there to like do magic stuff. That's about it.
another hazard,
Hmm.
just like the dragons. He's
Yep.
constantly bombarding you with. I mean, it's also loud. It's fairly loud, not a
Hmm.
pleasant sound.
Um, but
It's
that's about it. And
yeah,
mhm, then we move to the Electric, Electric Palace when those princes are, and it's basically just one big bridge, and then you have that one tower with those golden knights who have those wings, and those guys to me are like the most interesting because first of all they have wings, and the second of all is that these had to be like so high in the position of the princes that they got the golden armor.
yeah.
These must be like the most hardcore believers in the light.
It's it's so weird. The whole play. I don't know. I feel like also the way you're going through that thing, right? It's very inconvenient. The way it's built,
Yeah,
the whole castle.
it's better. Yeah.
It's not a bad area. I mean, they have a whole city there, right?
Mhm.
And first you're on the wall.
Mhm.
From the wall, you it's this world design that I don't really like, where it doesn't really make any sense when you like. Why would you build it like this? I mean, I get it. If they like, they could just easily build the level like that. You can walk on the ground in Lothric itself, right? Lothric Castle, like
Mhm.
there are also buildings with people living there, of course, right? There's a ground level.
Mhm.
Uh, there are streets. There are normal houses where people live there and stuff like this. But they always like. I don't expect them to build a something similar to Lanedale, right? Where you go through the streets. But why not just let the player go through very tiny parts of the streets where you can actually see that you can go in different directions as well, right? Why is everything so high up? Why are these things connected to each other how they are right now?
Mhm.
Like from high wall, you have the direct, like one way goes to the bridge to what's it called? Like the settlement, undead settlement,
Mhm.
and then the other way it directly goes into like wherever Emma is. I don't know what that room is supposed to be, right?
Mhm.
Then you have that room. Then you go through a corridor. You're on a wall again. From that wall, you're all of the sudden in front of the gate to the whatever part where Lothric and Lorien are, right? Where the two dragons are. That's the entrance. That's a big entrance to their more secure part. Then you're going through there. You're going over the bridge where you fight the Dragon Slayer armor that is connected all of the sudden to a library. That library goes like you have to go through the library to get to the big bridge part where all the shit comes towards you, like all the soldiers come towards you, and then you're in their bed chamber or whatever that is.
Yep.
What is
It's
that path? What is that pathing? Who would build something like this? In this order? Why is it all connected to each other? Why do you have to? And these dudes are bigger, right?
mhm.
Because they're like, I don't know, because everything needs to be bigger. They're taller than the player character.
Yeah, it's because of the gameplay. That's
Yeah,
it.
so how do they go through all that shit? Like the elevators for them are tiny. They can't take the elevator. they don't fit in there. I mean, Lothric would, but his brother probably not. That doesn't fit in there, right? Imagine
No,
you have to had to stuff him in the elevator.
I
Like,
mean, like, he
go in
doesn't
there.
fit there when he's walking on his knees. How would
Yeah.
he fit here when he was like normal?
And why is he crippled so hard?
It's because he
Like,
went to fight the demon prince.
he beat the demon prince.
Yeah,
His legs are crippled. He can't talk anymore for some reason.
yeah,
He's like
that's
this beast.
yeah,
That,
yeah.
like,
He got crippled by fighting the demon prince.
in, he came out with a pretty good sword,
Yeah.
permanently on fire. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's a gameplay element, right? Uh, but still,
So.
like the whole layout in and out of itself makes no sense. But the way they've, uh, I call it, let's say, garnished it, they put details and stuff. The
Mhm.
details are there, and and I was criticizing that in Dark Souls 2, right? That they don't really have that detail,
Mhm.
and that world design is terrible as well. And in this game, it's still like the world design is still terrible, but at least they have the detail.
Yep.
And I think Lothric Castle or High Wall of Lothric First is a pretty good area. It looks pretty impressive, uh, and the wall part is fine, not the castle part, but the wall part is fine.
Mhm.
Like it feels too much like a level and not like an
Like a real
actual
place.
place. Yeah,
Yeah.
feels very video gamey, so to speak.
Mhm. Definitely that improved in Elden Ring.
Yeah, but Elden Ring is an open world game, and there they had the problem of space, right? They can't make it just wider because it's like an Elden Ring is like an RTS game almost, right? Where you like your Age of Empires, where you have your character that has a certain size, and then you have a house or something that isn't much bigger than your character. But if you would size that house to the size it should be, then holy shit, that wouldn't be fun as an RTS game, right? So Lane Dell should be as big as the whole game itself, right? If you would resize, if you had to resize Leyndell, for example, to an
Mm,
actual size, then that city should be as big as the whole island
yeah.
and stuff like that. You have to cut some corners
Like
there,
we
right, to make
are
it playable.
Leyndell, the golden city. It can host 30 people.
Yeah, basically. And the other
Yeah.
half just fell into the ground apparently and lives underground now. Unfortunate.
Yeah.
Uh,
So the whole. So if you would give a score to the three areas of the Leyndell castle, not Leyndell, the Lothric castle, how would you rate it? Like, how many points out of 10?
so do I rate these areas compared to the other areas of the game, or only to like a Wall of Lothric?
Only
Uh,
like how much you enjoyed it.
so High Wall of Lothric, I would give it like a 8 or 9ish.
That's
It's the
very
first area.
strong.
It's the first area you're going through, like
Mm-hmm.
minus the Cemetery of Ash, which is basically a tutorial.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first real area where you start to
Mm-hmm.
explore. Uh, and it's a very strong area. Like the enemies are fairly straightforward. They have some interesting mechanics. They're teaching you some interesting mechanics, right? Where like these dudes can ring their bell and scream, and other dudes come. It's not that difficult. You have your variety of enemies. The strongest enemy there isn't really that strong. Right, the Lothric Knights can be fairly difficult at the beginning, but if you play the game for a few hours, they become easier because you become better, more attuned to the mechanics of the game itself. It's a fairly good first area.
And then you have that one
Um,
on Dark Raid who is just there.
Yeah, I mean, he got imprisoned down there by whoever.
Yeah.
But I mean, the Dark Graves are disappointing, to be honest.
Yeah, they are
Like
so
in
shit.
Dark Souls 1, they looked so much cooler. Like the
In Dark Souls 1, they were actually scary. In Dark Souls 3, is like, yeah, I know you.
yeah, not even that. They looked like shit. Like the Ringed Knights are what the Dark Graves should be.
Yep,
They basically fixed them, right? The
yep,
Ringed Knights look so much better.
yep.
Like even the Dark Souls 1 Dark Grave looked so much better.
Mm-hmm.
Like similar to the dragon designs, like you can transform into a dragon.
Oh, we will
Dark Souls
get to
1,
that. Oh, we will get to the goat.
yeah, yeah, like Dark Souls 1 was a good start. Dark Souls 2, like holy shit, that looks amazing. Dark Souls 3, what the fuck?
We will get to there. Don't worry, don't worry.
Yeah,
So,
it's
so,
similar with the Dark Graves, right? Like,
mm-hmm. So the Lothric library. How many points?
hmm. Wait, how many areas do I have?
Uh, Lothric wall, Lothric library, and the basically the palace of the princes.
What's with the garden?
That's
Doesn't that
about.
count?
No, that belongs to Osiris.
Okay, that's a different area. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and library, I would give it like a. You're getting constantly bombarded. One new enemy type, basically. The rest you already know. The rooftops count, right? The rooftops of the
Mm-hmm.
area count as well to the library. I would give it 4 to 5, like 4.5 probably.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's a fairly annoying area. It's not that fun to go through.
And the boss, the Dragon Slayer armor.
A Dragon Slayer armor on the other hand is fun. Like the fight is fun. I would give it like a
I
7-ish.
hate that the axe that he uses looks so ugly. It's
Oh, it doesn't
so
matter.
ugly. It
The
looks like
fight
a.
is fun.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm just talking, not the looks. Like the armor looks great. The axe is, the,
The
the
axe
shield
looks
looks
like he
cool.
fucking stole a part of like a chair and just glued a blade to it.
Like what is
It's so
it's the
ugly.
same material. It's the same material as the armor and as like Harvard's armor, right? It's the same stone thing. Like,
Uh,
is it supposed to be the same? Let's see. A dragon's iron. No, it's iron. Never mind. It's supposed to be iron. Looks like
mhm,
stone, but it's iron. Ah, it's different. Okay,
mhm.
Harvard's armor was made of stone. This looks just like Harvard's armor, like to be
Yeah.
honest.
It's also the only point where you interact with those pilgrim butterflies.
Yeah, luckily these things are creepy.
They look
You don't
like
want.
amygdala with wings.
How do you even face? How would you fight one of these things if you could fight them? How would you design a fight with them? Like they can't go into melee. They're too big for that, right? They would clip through everything. So
Either
they
make.
have to stay on the outside. They could just bombard you from the outside, so that you have to constantly take cover. That wouldn't be that much fun. I feel
And that
like.
is what they do. Like, if you find the armor long enough, they
Yeah, I mean
start
they bombard you,
shooting you.
sure, but I mean outside of the boss fight, they're just still flying around there. Imagine they would just constantly bombard you with shit occasionally. Like that wouldn't be fun.
Basically, you could either fight it like the Moonlight Butterfly,
You
where.
don't, you can't completely ignore that mechanic almost, right?
Mhm,
If you hear them charging something up, you just go into the other side and that's it.
mhm.
The laser is not going to hit you. The small projectiles aren't dealing any damage, and the big projectile you can see it coming. Like it's almost trivial. I feel like.
Or you can make it that you are fighting them on a bridge where they are very restricted with their movement so they don't just clip around, and you can just
Yeah,
like either
I mean,
hit them with very long spear or just shoot them with a bow, and they have
I
like
I
few melee attacks.
I think it's a good idea that they didn't implement them as an enemy only in the boss fight.
Like
That is.
originally, the pilgrim butterflies didn't exist, and instead it was winged snakes that were flying to the Lothric castle.
Well, kind of strange, but yeah, when they get, could be
And
cool, probably like that. But eh,
it was
like I
like
think this
from the
version is
alpha
better.
of the game where the ideas weren't set in yet.
I mean, I kind of it's kind of sad that they didn't went with a mechanic where you can create your own bonfires from corpses,
Yeah,
where you could drag them around. That
they
would be an
wanted to do it
interesting
for like
mechanic.
5 different games, bro.
I mean, it's hard to implement probably, and then
Yeah,
maybe with the next game,
maybe
maybe
like with
maybe
Elden
you in
Ring,
Elden
they
Ring DLC.
basically created all of the long time things that Miyazaki wanted. Like you finally have knights on horseback. You finally have spells that don't suck ass. You finally have a open world that actually can fit into the disk or your hardware or whatever. And you finally have a poison swamp that is somehow more annoying than everything else.
Was the poison swamp in Elden Ring that annoying?
Khalid.
Like, I mean, you're not getting poisoned constantly. You have
You getting
the middle
Scarlet
part.
Rot, that's even worse.
Yeah, but only in few areas. You can ride on torrent. Don't take any damage from that. You're not getting poisoned on
Yeah,
torrent.
horse really helps with that. But anyways, back to Dark Souls 3.
Yeah,
So the last part, the basically the throne room of the princess and that big ass bridge. How many points would give you that?
I mean, the fact that you have to run up that. The thing is that this part is an homage to like Demon Souls.
Yep.
Was it like False King Island or where you had to run up? I
Also
can't.
those two dragons blocking your way. That's all
Yeah,
like
it's
from
like
Demon Souls.
yeah, but I mean this very iconic run up to this fucking boss, right?
Yeah, fuck that.
It's not fun. It's not. Eh. Like the only fun thing is fighting these three NPCs. I feel like
Yeah,
it's somewhat
those
fun
three are fun.
because you have to juggle them around, try to get them stuck behind certain things, right?
Mm-hmm,
Get only one. That's the only fun thing, but that's a one-time thing. So luckily, you don't have to do that again and again.
mm-hmm.
Eh, 4, 3-ish.
And the boss fight with those princes?
It's one probably my second. Nah, what was it's one of my favorite boss fights definitely.
It is.
Yeah,
Oh,
the final like the final boss fight is my favorite. The Soul of Cinder is my favorite boss
yeah, Soul
fight.
of Cinder is perfect.
Then Gale probably second favorite, and the
Mm-hmm.
Twin Prince is probably my third.
Oh,
Probably
and
if I'm not if I'm not s- skipping any bosses that I can't remember right now.
Nameless King.
What's his name is King? Name is King. Name is King.
That's the storm guy in the dragon area.
All right, yeah, he exists. Yeah, mm, he's probably fourth then because I like when it's a strange thing when Dark Souls 3 came out, or
Mm-hmm,
not came out, like was the newest game,
mm-hmm,
right, that everyone played. Um, I really, really, I was really, really good at that boss fight, right? I constantly helped people. It was fun. I had fun with that boss fight.
mm-hmm,
I could do that without getting hit.
mm-hmm.
And now that I did, I do a can't no, before I did the series here, I played a character like by myself. Like I played the game through the game by myself,
Mm-hmm.
just for fun. And all of a sudden, I started to struggle at that boss fight sword, and I couldn't get it in. Like for some reason, I couldn't dodge the like where he slams the sword in a line with the big explosion line, right? I couldn't dodge that anymore
Mm-hmm.
for some reason. I had so much trouble. It's so bad at that game. I
Yeah.
don't know why,
Okay. So that
but
would
whatever.
be
Still,
Lothric. Did you ever get the twin princess sword when you have to combine the two together?
sure.
It's fucking
Like in
epic.
the, I mean, I've played with it for a while in the series, like for like one episode, I think.
Yeah, it's the
This
best
I
weapon
used
in
it.
the game.
Nah, there's so many good weapons. So many cool and unique
I mean,
weapons.
you cannot beat the broken straight sword.
If you're called Zero Lenny, that's true.
The broken straight sword.
I don't have the stamina to do that. I couldn't do that.
Defeating Yorm by just punching his arm 10,000 times. Like, I don't have patience for that.
I mean, Yorm is fairly easy, right? Like the fight itself, his attacks are fairly easy to dodge. Even his big fuck off explosion where he stomps on the ground, that
Mm-hmm.
is very fun. That deals no damage for some reason.
Yep.
Like zero. Like extra no damage. It just pushes you away,
Mm-hmm.
which is so strange. But it's fortunate that they've done it like that.
Yep.
It wouldn't be fun.
So then we are moving to the first area, the undead settlement.
Yeah, Star pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I, I still enjoyed High Wall of Lothric a bit more. What did I gave the High Wall, like an 8? Did I give it an 8?
Yep.
And that's probably also like 7.5 ish,
The weirdest
I would
part
say.
about the undead settlement, if we like skip the whole covenant thing, which like yeah it's cool for the gameplay reasons, like you can attack the monsters in the area, but also like the PvP player, yeah that's cool and all, but eh. The
It's
tree,
an interesting mechanic. Yeah, the tree is strange.
the tree is like the weirdest thing in the whole game.
It's a weird concept.
It's not
Like,
even like a tree, it's a tree guy. He cannot walk, he's like morbidly ill, and then he has like a demon hand birthed from him. The fuck?
cursed rotted great wood, right?
Yeah.
So, why is it cursed? They stuffed something in that
Yeah,
thing,
they
right?
put dead
Like
bodies
corpses and
inside.
stuff. And then that made the tree angry for some reason.
Mm-hmm. It made it
Eh.
grow hands and legs and be pregnant. What the hell?
I mean, okay, it's like this mythology thingy, right? Where if people, if I guess if too many people get killed against their will, like they get if they're getting butchered, if they're getting killed,
Mm-hmm.
basically like a mass grave. Not even warriors; they're just getting slaughtered for whatever, for someone's belief.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting just stuffed in a place. That place becomes cursed, right? And when they stuff it in a tree, that tree becomes cursed and becomes this creature. But the way they made that thing, I feel like it should look more demonic or more like evil spirit like than like a goofy tree
Furry
that
guy.
can't walk.
It's
Like
like,
they've missed their mark with that. I feel like.
yeah. It's like, what the hell?
I mean, the fight is okay. I feel it's an okay fight. It's a gimmick fight.
Mm-hmm. But
Gimmick
it's not
fights are
bad
fine,
gimmick
but
fight.
I mean, could be better.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's an optional boss for. It's not optional. Let's be real.
Like the
It's not optional.
like the best part is when it breaks the floor and you fall down.
And that's fun. I
That
like that.
was that was like a very cool thing, but like still,
How did I survive that though?
yeah.
Hodrick didn't survive that.
No, he got that fat ass right on his face.
Uh,
But also like
Deserved.
also in the wall of Lothric and in this undead settlement, you see the hollows turning into trees.
Yeah,
What?
very strange, right? They basically did what the Dark Souls 2 giants did.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
don't know.
it's
It
and
feels
it's
feels
weird
out of
as hell.
place. It shouldn't happen, really, right? Hollows are supposed to wander around
Mm-hmm. Not
and
becoming
attack the player.
trees, not becoming butterflies or angels.
How can you even sacrifice someone without them just popping back up again?
Yeah, like
That's what I'm wondering.
hey. The whole thing about undead is like okay, like but how do you actually like kill them? You can throw them into fire, so the regeneration just doesn't take over them. You can put them
I
on a
mean,
spike, which basically yeah revives them, but they just die immediately, so it's pointless.
how they should have done the whole thing with being hollow. Like everyone is getting hollow
Mm-hmm.
or becoming undead, and then the majority of people are zombies, basically, right? You
Mm-hmm.
can kill them very easily. And then there are few with the dark sign. They shouldn't give everyone the dark sign, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Like the dark sign, just give them to the player, for example, to NPCs, right? And they are the ones that are standing up. That would be much cooler, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Then it would make more sense, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because I mean, because you can't kill them, that's why they imprison them in the undead asylum in Dark Souls 1, right? Because you
Mm-hmm.
can't kill these things. So with them turning into trees, I feel like that goes a bit against their lore they've established.
Yeah. Now the undead settlement, I call it the tutorial too, because you see like a lot of things you will see in the future in the game. You have that demon, you have Sigmar, you have or Siegweld or whatever he is. You have the evangelist of the deep. It's a
Yeah.
honestly like if this is supposed to
Eh,
be just a village, it's like the most important village ever.
Yeah, sure.
It's probably like the only village that is left, to be honest.
Like lore wise, it's important, but it's good that they put it at the beginning.
Yep.
Acts as a hook, basically, like
Yeah.
grabbing people's attention, keep the player time up.
Hmm. So how would you rate it?
And it's Cinema I rated like 7.5.
Hmm.
It's still strong. It's getting like the areas seem to get worse. Like it starts strong, they're getting worse slowly.
Hmm. Hmm. So then we move to the Cathedral of the Deep, my favorite area,
Uh,
and one of the few videos that I have actually seen and commented on.
yeah, I don't really like that thing.
I really like that thing.
I feel like what are the new enemies in there?
Oh, there is actually
What,
few. Like you have
everything is
the hmm?
everything is almost new, right? But
Yeah,
mm,
basically everything you see there is new except for the slaves and
right.
like the few hollows, like the one with the halberd is the same.
The problem is that I've played Arch Thrones,
Mhm.
like the mod.
Mhm.
That was the biggest problem because I feel like they've done a much better job with that cathedral. I don't
Yeah.
know. Have you seen that? Right? Yeah, it's much cooler.
Yep. But that's because the mod only do like the best stuff from the whole thing. It
Yeah, but
basically cherry picks only the best parts.
I mean, sure, having. I think it's easier to make like the areas very cool in a mod than from the start. Because when you build the game from the start, you have to. There are limitations, right? And
Well, if you're making it
after.
in the game, you basically have to introduce it, then you have to show the new mechanics, tell a story, and then end it with something bombastic like the final
Yeah, I mean,
boss.
in the mod it works because everyone already knows how it's supposed to
Yep,
look like.
you
If
don't
it's something new, then you
in the
have to
mod.
ease people in.
Yeah, in the mod, you don't have to introduce shit. Everybody already knows who that is. You don't have to
Yeah,
tell a story because it already exists. You can only focus on the gameplay and making something be cooler than it was in the default.
but I still feel like they could have, at least with the cathedral part,
Mm-hmm.
they could have designed it much more interesting. Like that place is not even corrupted by the deep.
Well,
Like
it's full of shit.
it's corrupted by giants that are shitting on the floor.
Mm-hmm. And those worms.
How did they get the giants in the cathedral? By the way,
I think they
did
just put them in and make them build the cathedral from inside.
and like what was their idea from in a long term? Did they do they want to just leave them in there? Like, huh? What is when they attack people?
Yeah.
What is when they like?
Like, hey, if we got this giant and let him build the whole cathedral, he will just like lock himself in. And what will we do? Well, he will just piss and shit
And I mean,
everywhere.
why don't now I remember? I don't know. It's in some episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know which one has to do with Lothric Castle.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but in some item description, I don't know which one,
Mm-hmm.
it said Lothric Castle appeared. Right, it was there at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's there all of the sudden. Why don't they just do it with a cathedral as well? Then they don't need giants to build it. Just snip your finger or whatever, and it's there.
Uh, that's the thing. The cathedral wasn't built by the deep. It was originally
Yeah,
a
it was built by
cathedral of the
someone,
light.
but yeah, but why don't just use the same thing? Just make it appear like Lothric Castle.
Yeah.
Why use giants to build that thing? Just just magic it over there or whatever. Like where was it even? And what item description was it? Was it like the ring that we get from?
I think
Nah,
it's in the Knight's Ring
Knight's ring.
or the
Knight's ring
Ring
here.
of the Old Maiden.
Old what? Old maiden? What is that ring? Uh,
Uh, there are three rings that looks the same. One has the Knight, one has the Old Maiden, or like
yeah,
the
knight's ring, scholar's ring, priestess ring,
yeah yeah.
and then there's hunter's ring. But nah, it's not in there.
Ah, then I
Um,
don't know.
they're just talking about three pillars and whatnot.
Yeah. So
And some item description says Lothric Castle was there all of a sudden.
uh,
It just appeared. Why not?
so we can skip about the deep because we talked about it in the
Yeah.
comment section. I love it. You don't.
I like the concept,
Yep.
but I don't like the area. What I like though is the music of the boss fight. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite. One of my yeah favorite tracks.
Deacon so deep. Yeah, they're kinda cool. Not really, but they're kinda cool.
The music is cool. The boss fight is
Hmm?
it's a nice gimmick boss fight again.
So, how many points would you give it?
The area gameplay wise 6 probably 5 6 something in that line.
No, that's decent.
I mean it's not outrageous, but it's nothing special. Like it's
Yeah.
like I would
So,
give it under 5 if it's annoying as fuck.
mhm. Then we got that tiny area, the Road of Sacrifices, which
Eh.
I would totally skip without it having one very very interesting thing to me, and that is the fat lady with that cleaver.
We find Mildred or
She is
whatever her
all the
name
way
is.
from Demon Souls.
Yeah, we have a is it Demon Souls in the first? No, she
Yeah, she is
there.
from Demon Souls.
Yeah, yeah. Is it in Boletaria? Was it there?
It's in
Is it?
the Valley of the Defilement where you
Oh,
have that
okay, then
big
there are
ass
two.
lake with those jellyfishes.
Yeah, who is invading you in Boletaria? There's
That's the
in the first
executioner.
area. Yeah, yeah. I, I yeah, execution. I just mixed them up, I guess.
Yeah,
But yeah, Valley
there
of
are both like
Defilement.
women that want to kill you.
Then we have them in every single game, right?
Yep,
And
it's like
Mildred in
it's like
Dark Souls
patches being
1.
just reincarnated. That
Yeah,
you have to
patches and
have a
boring.
naked fat lady with giant cleaver.
I mean, the weapon is cool, right?
Mm, I mean, it life
There's
steals.
sharpening mechanic,
Yeah.
like self buff.
The most
I mean, it's a
interesting,
strong weapon.
the most interesting part is the pregnant undead dog.
Yeah, I don't know why they did the. Why?
Why?
Like, is that
Cool
is
as
that thing
fuck.
somewhere else? Nah, but why bother? So, why did they make the model for that thing?
Why? Well, first of all, it's very cool. The second of all, if you want to have a undead dog with a poison attack that just spills poison like fire, how do you do
Yeah,
that?
but it's the only dog in the game that does that.
Which is lame, I know,
They're
but
just using it once.
it's
Like,
such a cool enemy.
yeah, it's a cool enemy,
It's
but
literally
it's very
vomiting its
inefficient.
baby on you.
Yeah, but uh, that's not the problem. The problem is that they just use it once.
Yeah.
That is not very efficient, I would say. I
Yeah.
mean, they're reusing so many enemies. Why not that one?
Yeah, why do you have like the giant crab like 6 times? It's a fucking
In
crab,
the
it's
smoldering
boring.
lake. 6 times in the smoldering lake for an item that is not even worth it. Pick it up.
I fucking hate those crabs. Like, bro, like, yeah, they
But
were
yeah,
cool the first time you saw them.
like
Why do you have
what is
fire crabs?
road
Why do you
road
have
of
ice crabs?
sacrifices,
Why
right?
is there so many of them?
I mean, they're
No.
easy to fight, right? But
They are
they're
fucking health sponges. Like, no, those crabs hate them. Fuck. Doesn't
I'd
work.
rather fight crabs than pass of man snake thingies.
Yeah. Okay,
At least
so.
you can approach them in melee.
Mm-hmm. Okay, okay. So, Road of Sacrifices. Very short,
Eh,
but very packed. That's about it.
it's not overly annoying. I would give it a 5 then.
Yep. Like the biggest thing there is just oh, cool reference. Oh, cool reference. Oh,
I mean,
anime, wife.
I mean, I would say like annoying things go below 5. not annoying. If it's not annoying but not good, it's 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Next area. What is Poison Swamp number 1, right?
Yep, with those crabs and those weird, like, bloodborne guys with crosses on them.
But that is still Road of Sacrifice. The upper swamp part, I would call it. I would.
Yeah.
That's
The
still
most
Road of
interesting part
Sacrifices.
about that is that you have basically like thief mages, which is very, very good, like, concept. But that's about
Hmm.
it. Like, the gameplay isn't nothing special.
Yeah. Like the. Hmm, I don't know. I feel it's still part of the Road of Sacrifice. I would give it the same rating, right?
Yep. Like, the
That's
mage at the end, like, he looks cool, but what he actually does is pretty lame.
what mage.
The mage with the crystal ball.
Oh, the Crystal Sage.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
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 yeah.
crystal sage.
Hmm.
Mm.
I don't, it's a fairly difficult boss fight for that time.
all
I
he
mean,
d-
it's
like all he does is those pew pew attacks.
yeah, but the clones deal a lot of damage if you're not prepared. And
I
if you're
guess.
going in there for the first time and you don't take Aegon because you haven't talked to him, you don't want to summon anyone,
Mm-hmm.
then if you don't have high magic resistance, you're probably getting hurt there. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's
Mm-hmm.
isn't it like I don't know if it's for speedrunners a very difficult area. Probably not.
Mm.
Or maybe it is. I don't know.
Well, as I said, I like the concept of like thief mages, but dealing with them, it's kind of like meh. Especially the boss fight. Okay,
Yeah.
you said 5 of the 10. Then
Yeah.
we get to an Orlando.
Huh? There's one missing.
What was the one
What
with?
is with Farron Keep?
Oh yeah, Pharaoh Keep,
And
the
then
prison.
Catacombs of then what prison?
Pharaoh
Poison
Keep
Swamp.
is the. Oh yeah, the
Farron
wolf.
Keep is
Pharaoh
the
Keep.
Poison Swamp is that
Yeah, the poison swamp. Uh, eh.
with the Gru inside
The
and the
grooves are actually
slugs.
pretty interesting.
Yeah, I like that area actually. Even though it's a poison swamp, I feel like it's above average.
I like the Gru are like primitive guys, but they still like have a warrior culture. So there's like 4 different types of Grus. That's interesting. Then you have
Yeah.
then you see that mushroom lady with
What's her name? Is
Elizabeth,
Elizabeth, right?
and you have the
Yeah.
cave with Princess Ulasil. Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, we are back in Ulasil. Hooray! Or in the garden area, whatever.
Yeah,
Somewhere over there. It's nice. I like that area actually.
I like Ulasil.
No, not Ulasil. I don't like Ulasil. Um,
I
no,
don't
I
like
like
the.
Farron. I like the Farron Cave. That's pretty fun. I feel like.
Yeah, I kind of don't care. Especially not
Oh,
like
oh.
you have to light these 4 torches to open the door.
Actually, it's only three. It doesn't matter. Um, I mean, the mechanic is like go there, go there, go there. It's
Hmm.
mundane, but the area is actually pretty fun. I feel like I would give it a 7.
Really? To a
Yeah,
poison swamp.
poison deals no damage. That's not a problem, and and you can avoid the parts where it slows you down extremely hard. It's not that. It's a good mix. I feel like they've
Mm,
done a better job than in the previous game. So
all right.
it's
Mm,
probably their best poison swamp.
if you say so. How about the boss fight?
What thing?
The wolf, the Artorias fan club.
Do you mean the boss or the
Yeah, the boss
one of the best music there is? I
for
feel like
Abyss
it's,
Watchers.
yeah, Abyss Watcher soundtrack is fucking nuts. I like that soundtrack.
I can't
Or
even
that
remember
OST.
it.
I can, if there are three. I'm not counting the DLCs now,
Hmm.
but I could probably like Abyss Watchers, Deacons of the Deep, and the final boss fight. These are my favorite
Damn.
OSTs.
Hmm.
Um, the fight is fun. I really like
Yeah,
that boss
I would
fight.
say that is one of the better ones. Like when you have the first guy, he wants to kill you, then you have the second guy, he's like, he's going to kill the boss, and then you have the third guy that is also trying to kill you.
I mean, it's a faction fight. You see them. Sadly, it's kind of sad that when you open the door, you don't see them fighting. You only hear them fighting, but they're not loaded in.
Well, you have the
Uh,
cutscene.
yeah, I mean, you have the cutscene, but you can open the door and then still walk around, right? Before you trigger the cutscene. You're not triggering it once you open the door. So you're hearing the fighting. You open the door, you see nothing. Go two steps forward, you're triggering the cutscene. All of a sudden, they're there and fighting. Like, eh, just put some models there that are fighting each other. I don't know. That
Mhm,
could be cooler. But I really like that fight. Like, they're containing the abyss. Part of them is like
mhm.
corrupted and
I
fighting
also
against
like
them.
that
And
they are basically cut out of they are cut out of a film. The film is
what
called
film?
the film is called the Beast of Genetor. I think that's it. It's like a legend in France, where there is this village that in like the 17 1800s had this beast that was basically like a super wolf, and it was killing everything, and it took them like 30 years to kill it, and the guy who did it was like this church assassin cool guy, and he defeated it by melting crosses made out of silver and shooting it.
Hmm.
It's like in France is it's a very famous story, and basically the Abyss Watchers are just taken from the film. They look the same as the hero of the film, but this one uses the swords.
Well, pretty cool, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Let's see if I
I
can
mean,
find a picture of it. The fuck? Abyss.
uh,
Uh, I can't fucking find it. I will send you it later. But basically, like, yeah, the looks of these Abyss Switchers are taken from a film.
yeah, that,
And then we get
I mean, it
to
works, yeah.
Cartus. Oh, Cartus.
I mean, that's the area that's supposed to be where the abyss is supposed to be, right? Like
Yeah,
that's the area
it's
the abyss watchers are trying to contain, but it doesn't look like it.
okay. I will give it. I will give you. I will give it this. The skeleton enemies are actually pretty fucking cool. The
Yeah, the
one.
skeletons are cool,
Mhm.
but
Also,
where Abyss?
also, these Cartus skeletons, they are from Bloodborne as unused enemies.
I mean, they look like they're out of. I mean that's the From Software skeletons, right? Like, they're
Mhm.
rolling around.
That's the thing. Like, if you look at the unused stuff in Bloodborne, there is a skeleton with a curved saber. It's literally the Cartus skeleton. Literally.
I
Then you
mean,
have.
good that I found a use for them, I guess.
Mhm. Yep. Then you have the one with the sickles. I love sickles and the shield. Yeah.
What I find very strange, very cool, but very strange, like the assassin types, right? With the what is it called? I think it's like a reverse. It doesn't matter. The dudes that are jumping around so much, right? The
Mhm.
assassin type or ninja, whatever you want to
Yeah,
call
they
them.
throwing weapons. They doing all those saltos. They have
They th-
the
they
small
really look
sword.
like they're like being controlled by something, like they're marionettes. The way they're like
Hmm.
dashing around looks very like as if there's invisible strings like pulling
Really?
them somewhere. It's similar to the things that Mikulash uses,
Huh.
the marionettes from Mikulash.
No,
Uh,
I never thought
Not the
that
same
about
model.
the. I have never thought that about the Cartus skeleton. I just told the. I always thought like, hey, they are jumpy boys from the desert.
Yeah, but it kind of looks, but only this model. The other ones with the shield and the curved sword,
Mhm.
they're normal. But the ones that dash around very much, it kind of looks like it. Not really, but it kind of looks like it. Usually, you would like. I think if I remember correctly, they're dashing with their head first, right? Um, when they dash in one direction, they're dashing with their head. Usually, when you make a character that is being pulled by something like a marionette, you would
Mhm.
probably do it with their core first, like with their stomach or something like that goes first in one direction, and
Oh.
like the legs and the head that would drag behind a bit. That's usually how you make them, but they still kind of feel like they're being controlled. The way they're moving around is like flowing. It's like flowing water. They're like not like very stiff,
Hmm.
so that it still feels kind of like they're being manipulated by something. They're
Yeah,
not, but
interesting.
feels like it's pretty cool.
Hmm. Interesting. Where is the sand?
In the abyss.
It's annoying and it gets everywhere. Yet I see no sand.
Yeah, kind
It
of
would
sad
look
and kind of
so.
strange that it's
The catacombs looks like shit. Where it
is
would be so
boring,
much
right?
better if they just made it more like Middle Eastern, like give it some sand, just being in there, like
Yeah,
something.
but then you have the problem with why is it like why in front of it is a poison swamp where some dudes fight each other, and behind that is an ice area. Where do you put the desert? Right?
I mean,
It's
it
kind of
already doesn't make any sense. Sense like you have this poison area close to Lothric, yet somehow is it's the graveyard of this far off land that is in the middle of desert. Like, how did that
yeah.
work? It's already not working out. Just put some sand in it, bro. Like, yeah. I
Yeah,
want to
or
see
make the
Cartus
level
and not just
design.
this fucking boring escape.
I mean, there's a reason why they made what's it called? Demon Souls areas, like where you have to teleport to one area
Yeah,
and play
because they
through it, so it
couldn't find
makes
how
sense.
to connect it.
because you can't connect certain things. Like,
Like
why would you connect an ice area with a sand area with a poison swamp?
one of the area is isolated island with completely different culture. Like how do you want to connect that? Like do you make
Yeah,
a tunnel like under the sea? Huh?
but I mean, Catacombs of Carthage is nothing annoying, really. It's like unremarkable, so I would give it also a five.
Yeah. Like the coolest thing in the catacombs is that one place where you go and then like 100 skeletons just spawns and follow you, and you just
Yeah, but
break the bridge and all of them fall.
that only works if you walk across the bridge. If you go
Hmm.
where Henri is, these skeletons won't stand up.
Yeah. It's a it's like
That's
the
the
coolest
problem.
moment in the whole game.
Yeah, and then they let you miss it.
Yep.
If you're actually seeing Henri, who's pretty easy to see there. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah,
So Volnir.
smoldering lake next, plus demon ruins.
Okay, okay. Volnir. What do you think about the big bone guy?
Eh,
He has
boring.
cool lore.
He himself is cool. The fight is boring as fuck.
Yeah, like he himself
Don't go in the
is
smoke.
it's just fucking
Ooh.
ass. Like you have this, oh, I am basically Barbar the Conan or Barbar Conan. I destroyed like four empires and I put all the crowns together, making the Conan crown. And I used clerics, and instead of like following their fate, I just stole stuff from them. Haha, I'm so evil. Haha. And
I
then
am
you fight
imprisoned
him
in a
and
goblet.
like, what the fuck is this?
Who would just put them in the goblet thing?
Like,
Like,
how did you become a cup for wine, bro? Like, even the skull is like misshaped. Like, it's,
I mean, he got corrupted by the abyss somehow, wherever the abyss is.
I guess the abyss just took him because he was a very evil boy.
Where is the abyss and where is the sand? It's both not there.
Yeah, the abyss eat the sand. Like, what the
It's like
fuck
they
is
cancel
this
each other out.
shit?
They just cancel each other out. Like abyss equals sand, so you can, I don't,
Yeah,
whatever.
and like the only cool, I mean, the enemies are cool, like the dancing skeletons. They're clearly like Middle Eastern. Then you have the skeleton ball that goes like up the stairs, which you wouldn't expect.
And the mechanic is cool. The area is kind of whack.
Yeah,
But
but like, what the hell are the Black Knights doing there? Eh? That's
I mean, now we're in the
what?
demon ruins all of the sudden, right? That's a
Yeah,
different
like we
area.
defeat Volnir and we are in Demon Ruins. Like, first of all,
I mean,
how?
the demon ruins are below, right? You have to
Below
climb down
what?
the
The swamp or the desert that isn't there?
below everything.
How?
I mean, the demon ruins are underneath the swamp, who is above the sand with the abyss,
Yeah, that makes no
right?
sense.
So we have Isolith, which is very, very close to Olasir, which is very, very close to some sand area.
By the way, after Dark Souls 1, I thought that like the whole Ulasil thing is dead. Uh, Isolate thing is dead. Like demons just stopped existing the moment you kill the big tree lady.
They're still there.
I love what they did is that just they did like, hey, the demons are literally just dying out like dinosaurs.
Yeah,
Like there is,
they're just turning to stone. They're slowly burning up,
yeah,
right?
it's like
They no
they are
longer have
just
fire.
walking ash.
I mean, we have the one on top of the bridge, right? The
Yeah,
bridge that should
he,
connect Lothric to the
yeah.
undead settlement. There's one.
I mean, he's just completely white. Like You probably met him like one day before he would die of old age.
Yeah, and then he vomits boulders up your ass and you die.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, he is so out of fire that instead of like spitting fire, he just spits out boulders. That is like one of the coolest enemies in the whole game. Like, I love that one guy.
Yeah, well, pretty cool.
hmm I love the demon. I love all the Demon King, but I have a very specific reason for it, and I think I commented it under your video, and that is like because he just looks like Ash, that is just like desperately trying to burn. I made a D&D character inspired by him, and that's why I love him. But let's talk
So we
about
have
the area, the demon ruins.
Kingscarn, Catacombs of Carthus, no.
hmm
Londo, Smoldering Lake. What is this? Or oh no, never mind. I'm in the
So,
comment section. Never
Smoldering
mind.
Lake.
Oh,
Can
that
we?
thumbnail was fun to make.
I mean, can we say something more that it's absolute garbage?
Yes, they could have done so much with this area, but they decided to do ballista.
Yeah,
That's everything.
just absolute nonsense ballista. The big Cartus
I mean,
worm, which,
they could have done so much cool shit with the worm
yeah,
in the
but it
lake.
just like stands there, bro. Like, you put
That
your
thing
work.
could pursue you.
Yeah,
They
like,
could have made many, many
mhm.
smaller versions of them that are everywhere in the lake and you can actually fight them.
It's the
But
only
no.
like enemy that is I am from desert that isn't just skeleton.
But the strange thing is, right, the
hmm
way it looks like a demon, right?
Does it?
If you, yes, if you compare the like the ribs, right? It has ribs with
hmm
corpses and flesh inside.
Yep.
And if you look at the, for example, demon prince
hmm
in the second DLC, right?
That
If
just
you look
looks
at the
like a
tail,
rat.
yeah, if you look at the tail of of that thing,
hmm
it's the same rib cage kind of construction. So they have similar anatomy,
Hmm.
which is interesting.
Hmm. I never thought about the worm being a demon. I always
But I
thought
mean, it kind
like
of makes sense, right? It's when it's supposed to be Solaire. Solaire got the sunlight maggot on his fucking head, right? Huh?
the worm is solar is one of the funniest thing that ever happened.
Yeah, I mean, let's say the sunlight maggot somehow ate
No,
Solaire and turned into
no,
the worm.
just
That could happen.
no. No. The worm is very clearly from Cartus, and he just got there because worms dig in the ground, and he just like burrowed and end up there.
Nah, nah. It's not just a worm out of Dune.
No, it's definitely Solar.
He has lightning, right?
Well, would
Uh,
it be better if he was spitting fire?
yes.
You think so?
And then you could say it's a demon. In the
Eh,
demon ruins, in the smoldering lake, would fit into Isolith pretty well. And a
mm,
desert is hot. So fire is very close to that. I mean, Carthus is made like they have pyromancy there.
yeah, they
That would fit
do.
better, in
Like,
my opinion.
wait a minute. It's the Pyromancer in the first DLC. Those desert pyromancers, they aren't from Carthus, right? They are from like different
I mean, in
country.
Carthus, they also have pyromancy, like pyromancy Tome of Carthus. Could be stolen, though, or conquered.
It's probably one of the conquered empires. Hmm.
But I mean, fire works well with desert, right?
Yeah, I mean a lot of a lot of things actually works good with Middle East if you actually know something about it other than oh they wear turbans and they have quartz swords and they are weird and blah 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 blah.
Right. But no, the area's total shit. They could have done so much with the area, but they decided not to,
Yeah,
which is
actually, the fucking Demon
unfortunate.
Lake is just fucking garbage. It's so shit, like 0 out of 10.
I would give it a 1.
The only good part is the
The
uh,
only good part is that you can turn off the ballista.
yeah. No, I actually like that boss, but I told you why.
I mean, the boss is fine, right?
Yeah.
But
Then we have the demon ruins where
actually, the fun part about the Demon Ruins is that, I mean, I just put it together with the Smoldering Lake because
yeah
these
it
areas are
is
close together. But
like it is one area basically.
the fun part is that you can, what's his name? Night Slayer Zorik.
Hmm.
You can let him fight himself. That's the fun thing.
Yeah, that's actually pretty fun.
But the sad thing is that the Zorik that spawns in the Demon Ruins beats himself as a phantom and Cuculus together.
Hmm.
He's stronger than both of them.
Yep.
Uh,
I mean, the only thing that is in the old demon's ruins is the corpse of the spider lady,
yeah,
and
hooray.
that's literally the only thing that people can remember from it because it's just so boring.
Yeah,
It's
bunch
like
of corridors.
yeah, it's just tunnels upon tunnels, like bro, like
That's
boring
not
as
even how. That's not even how Isolith looked like.
yeah, like it's
Like
literally
what is
King's
Isolith
Field
was like?
20 late.
Isolith was built after or modeled after Angkor Wat, right? Is it called Angkor Wat?
I don't know how it's named, but it's that temple in Indonesia that has trees overgrowing on it.
Yeah, Angkor Wat.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know the name, but if you say so,
Okay, when you Google it, you can.
I
It
don't know
has a
how to
Google
write it.
rating
Angkor Wat.
Angkor, and then next word WAT, and the thing has a Google rating of 4.8.
Oh yeah, this
How
Angkor.
do you rate? How do you rate that building in Google?
I mean, it's so random. Like you are imagine this, like hey, I am a Miyazaki and I give you this work, make a demon area, and you are just demons. I'm gonna make it from Indonesia. What is the
Just swap,
connection?
just swap the water with lava, and we are good.
Yeah, like it's like hey, Pan, I give you this work quest, make a demon area. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna make it after fucking Israel because I don't like Jews.
I
Bro,
mean, why not, right? It works well.
yeah, like why not? Let's just slap something in there. The thing is, um, yeah. So what is like the next area?
Uh, Eryther, probably.
Yeah, irritable dungeon.
No, not dungeon. The normal Eryther. Dungeon comes
Yeah, yeah,
afterwards,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. Irritable. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Irritable and Anorlondo. So, how did you feel
Mm.
after you saw Honor Launder the second time?
You mean the second time for the first time or the second time for the second time? Like on my first playthrough or on my recent playthrough?
I mean, the
Like the
first time
series,
that you
right?
have seen, oh, Honor Launder is in Dark Souls 3.
That was a good feeling. It was fun. I already know where to go, except half of it is missing.
Yeah. Like, I actually like that you are going into like the lower part of Honor Launder that is called Irretil. And it has like a very strong impression. Like, you have that bloodborne crocodile on the bridge. That is interesting. Then you have those centipede ladies, which they definitely look interesting. Then you go through the
Oh,
sewers.
right. The lore, right? I don't have you seen the episodes?
Yeah, I have seen it. You were complaining, like, how does this kitchen work?
No, it's the poop kitchen. They
Yeah,
all like to eat shit. That's the new canon.
it's the poop kitchen. Like, how does that work? Yeah, it doesn't.
No, it does. Like the whole city runs on poop. That's how they eat.
Yeah.
That's why the Outrider Knights look so strange because they eat shit all the time.
Yeah,
I
like,
mean, that's why they vomit up their soul, like the
mhm.
the normal knights that are running around. That's why they can vomit up this
This is the strange part.
thing.
Like, over and over again, we hear about these tiny little creatures that just go and bite off everything. It doesn't matter if it's your weapon or if it's your skin or everything. You have the like the blind firekeeper. She's complaining about it, like when she teaches you miracles,
Yeah,
and have her gargoyle light to kill her because she just can't deal with it. And the same like creatures are in Irritul. They are eating the slaves. They are eating the weapons. What,
I
like,
mean,
you would say, okay, this is probably some abyss stuff, but then it's connected
it
to
feels more like the deep
tides.
to me. It feels more like the deep to me, honestly.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
But
That's why you have those evangelists. Oh, I'm stupid. It's the deep, of course.
yeah, they
The
have
whole
like
Irritil is just influenced by the deep.
I mean, you have Doris there.
Yeah, yeah. Also,
And,
one thing about that, if you noticed, the dogs that are in Irritil, they have human heads.
uh, right, yeah. Sullivan's influence, probably.
Yeah. Uh,
He likes to turn things into beasts, people into beasts,
mhm.
apparently. That's
Actually,
what he's doing.
the dog with a human face, that is this is yokai from Japanese like culture.
Well,
Yeah, it's a real monster they have.
yeah, why not? I mean,
Well,
they probably borrow a few more than just one
mhm.
influence from there, so
I mean, they have
why
over
not?
4,000 gods and over 20,000 monsters, so. And it was made in
Yeah,
Japan, so there is a lot of like stuff taken from there. But I think the
I mean,
dogs with the
why
human
not use
heads,
it, right?
mhm, like especially when it's just like something smaller. I think it's pretty cool anime, to be honest.
Sadly, still just a reskin. Like,
Mhm.
it's just a normal dog,
Yeah.
which is unfortunate because the dogs don't work.
And then there
I mean, they
is.
literally, they literally teleport behind you. I think
Yeah,
Limit
they do.
Breakers made a video about dogs, right?
Yeah, they do teleport. Uh, and then we have the big fat guy McDonald
Oh, yeah, he ate too many hamburgers, of course. That's why he died.
with those two crocodiles. Hmm.
I mean, they were guarding him, right? They were. why are they in the water reservoir? Like, what are they doing down there? That's for drinking water.
Well, they are
I
there
mean,
to
they.
protect the big boy, and because it's deep,
What is
it's
he?
connected to water.
It's not deep. There's almost no water in there.
It doesn't matter that there is almost no water. The point is, the water
And they're
doesn't
drinking.
flow, it stays and it gets dirty.
They,
That's
yeah,
the
they're eating
point
shit
of the game.
anyways.
Hmm?
They're eating shit down there anyways in Erythel. So
Yeah,
with
then
that
you
one
also have the
complete.
Sullivan's Beast, the cat spiders.
uh, With the reservoir, it's kind of strange how they think how the two dogs got down there.
Hmm.
Like they don't fit in there. They don't fit through the gap.
Yeah. Like
I
the.
think they can teleport, right?
Mhm.
The spiders are disgusting. Like
Yep,
you can't fight them. You have to cheese them.
they are they are literally the most like trusted people that Aldrich have. Like they are cannibals.
Yeah, they look like cannibals. Like
Hmm?
they look like. I mean, they're cursing you. That's the worst part.
Hmm.
And they attack you while you can't. No, it's a bad enemy design. I feel like.
It
And it's a good enemy, but it's a bad enemy. It's not fun to fight.
would you say that it fits in Bloodborne?
Could probably. I mean, they're attacking fast. You can move fast in Bloodborne, so they probably would fit in there. Maybe with a reskin, not a reskin, but a retexturing,
Hmm. Because
because they look very Dark Souls 3-ish, but
they
they would fit
are,
in Bloodborne.
yeah, yeah, as I said, like they are cat spiders. Bloodborne, it's all about like wolves and crows. So
I
maybe.
mean that thing has fur,
Hmm. It has 6 legs and it has like a big bitey
so it's
bite.
not a spider, right? Because spiders have 8 legs, right?
Yeah, but it
Uh,
goes like head down on the ceiling and it jumps on you.
so what?
That's it.
Ah,
Mm.
yeah, stupid things don't like these things.
Yeah.
Ah, rating Iritha, like I would give it probably a 6 to 7 as well. It's not
Mm.
annoying. It's quite a good area, but
Yeah, it's
eh.
definitely one of the better ones, but because it's connected to Anor Londo, it's kind of like
Yeah, it gives it.
overshadowed.
It's kind of good, right?
Mm.
I don't know.
I mean, I like it. Like,
Again,
I like it a lot visually because it reminds me of a real city that we have
I
here.
mean, visual looks amazing, but again,
Yeah,
world design wise, it's just more gamey. It looks like a game level out of a game,
I also love the
not
part
like a
where
real place.
Anor Londo is known as the city of the sun, and it's literally above Erythel, which is the city of the moon.
I mean, it's Sunless Realms, right?
Hmm.
But I mean, it's also dark in Anor Londo,
I mean, you also have that one picture of Nashandra.
right? In the art gallery, you mean?
Yeah, yeah,
The official art gallery. We have the poop kitchen and we have the art gallery with the Silver Knights inside,
yep.
with a few paintings. Like we have Nashandra in there. Is Guinevere also in there? Yeah, probably, right? That's the big
Hmm.
picture.
Yeah,
Uh, what else do you see? You see one of these giants again? No. Do you?
and then we
I have no idea.
have Aldrich, which is more of a Gwendolyn than actually Aldrich.
It's kind of cool what he's using. Like, where is he getting that life fund scythe from? That's what I'm interested in.
It's because Aldrich is dreaming, and he dreams about the painted world with the dragon girl. What's her name?
Why is he not eating her?
Because he
Go in
cannot.
the go in the paint.
Because
Go in the
he does.
painting.
Because he didn't found the way to the painted world yet.
I mean, the painting doesn't exist anymore, right? The church isn't there.
Now the church is still there, but you cannot go there.
No, it's not there. It got replaced by the Church of Yoshka.
Oh my fucking god! Oh my god! Don't get me started on Yorshka. Like, what the fuck is that?
I
It
mean,
would make
everything from
so
her is
much
clipping through a
sense.
chair.
It would make so much sense if she was Gwendolyn's daughter,
Hmm.
but she
Gwendolyn?
isn't.
Why Gwendolyn? It would make more sense if she is like Priscilla's daughter.
Yeah, that would explain why she has a tail.
But how did she get out of the painting? And who went inside the painting?
And who was the father?
Probably like what's his name? Like the
The Yellow
Zanches
King,
scholar.
the Jeremiah, the guy in yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hello, let's make another half breed.
yeah.
Or maybe another dragon flew in. So I don't know. I don't know. There was an undead dragon in the painted world, right?
I
I
mean,
mean, the legs.
who
You, you,
would
you
not
could make the
like?
legs work,
I mean, who would not like to have Priscilla? She's fluffy. Yeah.
and she has a scythe.
I mean, the live hunt in Dark Souls 1 was really fucking strong.
It bleeds yourself.
It was like bleed on steroids.
Bleed on yourself as well.
Hmm. By the
You
way,
have to be careful with that
hmm
thing.
so how would you rate this, the Anorlondo in Dark Souls 3?
Other I don't know, but it's pretty short, right?
Yeah, it's
Not
basically
much
just
to
the
rate
boss
there, but
fight.
I mean, let's put it together with everything. Like
Hmm.
that whole thing is one area, so also
Hmm.
6, 7-ish, I would say.
Hmm. No, I'm not good. What is
What is
next?
next? It's our Irithyll dungeon.
Oh yeah,
Prison time. The perf- I I did a mistake with that thing. Irithyll dungeon first, right? The
hmm
poop dungeon. Um, Pretty cool mechanic with the jailers. I feel like
you like it?
no, but it's a pretty cool concept. Um,
It's
but the
garbage.
no, the concept is nice, but the way it works is shit, and the way they just stuffed like 10 of them in the cell part down at the very end. That's the shit part. Like a few jailers is fine. If you would get your HP back, that would be nice. Like
Mm-hmm.
the like reducing your maximum HP isn't the bad thing. The bad thing is that once you get back your HP, you're not healing back up. That's the shit part.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're staying at 1 HP. That's
The thing
and I
that I
mean they could
really
have
dislike is that you have those
yeah.
hollows that you can loot, but when you do, they scream.
That's the cool thing.
But they are so loud.
I mean, the fun thing is watching someone else playing that game for the first time and then them getting scared.
The only thing that is cool in the Ritual Dungeon is those weird, like, gloom enemies with those tiny wands, and they cast magic on you.
Like the dragon
Yeah, I think they are
idiots or what?
supposed to be like dragons. They look like Gloom from Lord of the Rings, or Gloom, or whatever.
Yeah,
They
I
are
mean they have tiny
so
chain wings,
ugly.
so
They are so ugly that they are kinda cute.
but they're fucking annoying with their storm daggers and spears.
Yeah.
Like the reverse vacuum spear with the tornado that you can. Well, it was fun to use that thing in PvP and push people around all the time because they couldn't get down the timing,
Yeah.
and because it has a lingering hitbox, so
Okay.
kind of
And
hard to dodge.
then you have that one mega big giant.
Ugh. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you can cheese that thing. Luckily,
Like the only cool part is that his lore says that he was like always there and they just built the prison around him.
you're imprisoned now. Hooray!
But
The
yeah, how?
shit part is underneath the giant.
Mhm.
There, the rats are endlessly spawning, so you can't really talk to the imprisoned Sigurd.
Yeah, it's
They
shitty.
really. Why do they have to infinitely spawn? Like, that makes no sense.
Yeah, like.
And I've tested, like, they really infinitely spawn.
Uh-huh.
Why? Like, the only infinite spawn in the whole series was in front of no, actually two in Dark Souls 2. In front of like the castle to open the doors, or like in the boss fight against the rats.
Yeah. So I think it's pretty clear that I don't like that area. But what do you think
Uh,
about it? How would
the
you
cool
do it?
thing is the cool thing is the Dark Souls 2 mimic. I feel like I really like the Dark Souls 2 mimic design,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But it's like
but I don't
one
know.
off
Like,
enemy.
I think they have two of them in the game. There's one in Lothric Castle as well.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean,
Um,
it's in the demon ruins, but the moment where you can put the demon to fight with the mimic and the mimic can kick his ass, that's actually
but I
pretty
mean
cool.
that's a normal mimic. That's a Dark Souls 1 mimic,
Yeah,
right?
that's the footballer mimic.
That was fun. That's fun letting them fight.
Yep.
Most of the time, the demon wins though, because the mimic for some reason like gets hit by the fire constantly or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes the mimic wins. Most of the time, the demon wins for me. Sadly enough.
So Irrital
But yeah,
Dungeon, how
Irithel Dungeon I gave five probably.
five?
It's not overly annoying, so I'm not giving it lower than five.
Hmm.
I
Interesting.
mean, the mechanic is very easy to like the health drain mechanic is very easily avoided. I feel like
Then we
you can
get.
just take a great sword.
Mhm. Hmm. And then we actually get to Yorm's area, the profane
I
capital.
didn't. I think I. It's called profaned capital, right?
Mhm. It's really short.
The problem is that I think the first half of the thing I called it a profound capital, and that's a different word. What is profound about that thing, huh?
I don't even know what that means.
Like, uh, wait. We have profound, which is like for, yeah, profound is like, oh, it's deep. That means it's deep. I thought it was like, it's forbidden. What? It's forbidden to talk about. And profaned is like desecrated, defiled.
Yeah, that would
Defiled
actually.
capital
Yeah, that would fit it
that
better.
fits better.
So, what do you think about it aesthetically?
First time I walked in there, like I was like, "Ooh, that's a cool area to explore." I went through the area. Oh, that's a boring area to explore.
Yeah.
Ah, so much. missed potential. Like, why can't you explore the city?
First of all, the enemies are literally the same, but instead of the instead of being red, they are white, and they have knives instead
I
of
mean,
iron.
like first, this is the first time you see the gargoyles. They're pretty cool when they're not flying and when they're not blocking with their wings,
But they
right?
okay, but also they are ugly as fuck.
Yeah, but they're fun to fight when they're not flying and when they're not blocking with their wings. Then they would be fun to fight, right? A
Okay.
pretty cool enemy. Um, then also we have like, okay, the white jailers. They're
Mm-hmm.
much more fun to fight because they're not cursing or because they're not reducing your
One
HP.
thing that I always liked about the Soul series is when you have like an area that is isolated from everything else. Like in Demon Souls, it was the Skeleton Island that
Yeah,
has
the
like,
storm with the
mm-hmm,
storm ruler, right?
yeah, yeah,
Stuff. Yeah,
because like you cannot imagine like the King Galant or whatever his name is worshipping just a big ass flying stingray. Like that would never happen. Like never. But for
yeah.
these skeleton people, that is their god. And when it comes to Yorm city or the profound capital, it's also like isolated from everything else and it's different from everything else. Yet you would expect so much more. Like you go there, the main area is basically just the boss fight and like two rooms. And then
I
you have
mean, you also have the side area, right,
mhm.
with the small
And then
chapel
you have the
inside.
side area when you have that one church and of course poison swamp. And you have those weird like hippo babies with hands instead of heads.
Oh, they're cool.
They are
I really like the design of them.
they are
I
cool as
really
fuck.
like the design.
But I really don't like that they have a hole on their stomachs. But
I don't like that they have three of them in one room.
mhm. But what I love is that when they kill you or like grab you, they actually eat your souls.
Yeah, interesting. I never noticed that.
Also, there is the coolest weapon in Dark Souls 3, the double axe that is made out of bone, and it's called Eleonora.
That's supposed to be bone. It
It
was like
has
gold or something. Okay.
it it's like a vampire's axe.
Yeah, you can ring that thing and then bing bong and then you lifesteal, right?
Yep.
It's
Uh,
like the sharpening thing
the thing is,
from the
because
cleaver.
it bim bongs so slowly, it's unusable. But I love it because there actually used to be, like in real life, a noble woman called Eleonora that was vampire.
So that's why it's called that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because of
Before,
real
mhm,
life mythos, whatever.
like in real life, it actually happened that some people were called vampires, but it basically meant like they have a sickness that we call vampire because we are superstitious. Like I will want I will link you the document about Eleonora when like probably tomorrow. Like it's 1 a.m. I'm really getting tired, so let's just finish this. Uh, so we all agree that your boss fight is actually pretty fucking hype when Sigvard appears and you are using the Stormlurer sword.
It's pretty nice, but I kind of
Yeah,
wish like you could fight them another. Uh, that there is a different way you could fight them
I wish that
without the use of the sword.
Machete has had more than one move.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's such a useless weapon. Um, Yoram is
it's
cool.
pretty long.
Yoram is
It's
cool
pretty.
as fuck.
The worst thing is that I didn't put Yorm's armor in the game. It's cut
Yeah,
content. Like, what the fuck is wrong with that?
but they give him a shield that he doesn't use. What the
Now
fuck?
I mean, he discarded that and
Yeah,
lore wise, right?
yeah,
He
lore
couldn't
wise, like,
protect someone, then he throw that thing away and attacked.
hmm and he
Went
put
ape
the
shit,
hole
whatever.
in his machete so he can get a second move with it. Ooh. Plus,
Yeah,
Yoram is the guy from the trailer, so
true.
Yoram is cool as
Uh,
fuck.
Next area.
Hmm
How many do we have left? Wait, we have Twin Princess. We have
I
then
think we
the.
only have the dragons.
Really, is that the only one?
I think
Oh
so.
no, we still have the garden. We have
Oh
the
yeah,
untended graves.
I mean the garden is connected to the untended graves.
Yeah, but the garden, I would give the garden like a two or one. I don't know. I hate that thing. Looks ugly. No fun to go through. Enemies are shit.
The garden,
Osiris is fine though. He looks weird though.
the garden. I like that they actually did like, hey, like there is different generation of the king. I really like that. But the area itself is it's centered around the pass of man. That's why you have like a lot of them transforming.
Yeah, and
Which,
you have a
let's
poison
be honest,
swamp.
that is like the weakest part of the story. I like that you have the deep knights, crusader knights, but they are in blue. They look so fucking cool. But they are, if like, I want to love them because they look cool as fuck, but they are just reskins, so I cannot.
Yeah,
But
and just a cathedral knight with blue instead of red. Right?
yeah, but the but the cathedral knight is like the coolest guy ever. Like those longest sleeves, the crusader helmet, the big ass shield, and that long mace. It's like the coolest
What
enemy
else?
ever.
Let's go to the untended graves.
So, what would you say about Osiris?
What?
About Osiris, the dragon boss?
Osiris. Ugh. Fight is fun. Why didn't they model Ocelot?
I think it's because of like sen-
Because they can't smash babies or what?
yep, it's because like, oh, you
Yeah,
would
okay.
have to change the rating the game to mature or something. So
I don't
you don't
care.
have the crazy king that became this ugly ass mushroom dragon that is also a mage and also an angel. Like, you cannot
Yeah.
have him killing a baby, so you have him kill invisible baby.
Thanks, censorship.
Thanks, censorship. You are as useless as ever.
Why even have the baby in the first place if you can't show it? Like, what?
I mean,
Is Ocelot that important to the story?
that's the thing. Ocelot, like, his whole purpose is like,
I
there
mean,
is
Ocelot is fucking dead, right?
different, so, like, the whole point of him is like, hey, I am obsessed with the dragons because dragons are like outside of the circle of fire. So if I make a dragon baby, I can like create a race of humans that are part dragons and they are unaffected by this whole bullshit because they are immortal.
But I can't even see the fucking baby.
But the thing is, like, we know how dragon humans look like, and it's the firekeeper from Dark Souls 2. She isn't dragon at all. She just have like two different colored eyes, which
Yeah, I
you
mean,
can
she
get
didn't use
natural.
the. You just need to use the Dragon Torso Stone, right? That's very easy. Just use that thing. You become a dragon.
And then the second thing is
In
like
Dark Souls 2.
Osiris just fucking kills the baby. Like why?
Yeah, because you attack him, he's panicking, and if he can't get have the baby, then you can't have it as well, right?
Yeah, that's kind of the idea, but it's just, but it's also like so idiotic. Like he probably murdered thousands and thousands of people to like create him. He probably
I mean, it's
killed.
called Consumed King for a reason, right? Like,
Yeah, he's insane. That's probably why he was dethroned. Because like
I mean, but I mean, boss fight in phase one is fine, and phase two is too quick. I feel like it's not fun.
in phase two, he's just like a rat.
He dashes around too much.
Yeah.
Next area, untended graves. Tutorial area number two, just
Um.
with lights out.
Yeah, forgettable. Like the only.
No, it's pretty cool. Like I like that I like the fight against Mr. Boss down there. What's
Mhm.
his name? Champion Gundyr.
Yeah,
A pretty
champion
fun
Gandir.
fight.
Yeah, finally Gandir is fighting at his full power, and he's cool as fuck.
Yeah, without that pass of man shit.
hmm Um, the thing is, this whole area was created by Ludlev.
Huh?
Yeah, basically what happened is that you were away from the Firelink Shrine for so long that Ludlev kinda realized we have to act now or it's fucked. We run out of time. So he threw himself into the fire to buy you time and created this untended graves area.
Time is convoluted.
Exactly, it makes no fucking sense.
Yeah,
but
we have like
that what
three different filing shrines, or
but that is
four
what
with the DLC.
Ludlev Rings tells us. Yeah.
Like we have filing shrine, our hub area.
Mhm.
We have filing shrine and the untended graves. We have filing shrine right before the final boss, right? You like filing shrine in the future or something. I don't know.
We
Doing
have
drag
the
keep
we
event, I would
literally
call
have
it.
firing shrine from Dark Souls 1
Yeah, we have filing shrine
and
from
is a
Dark Souls One
boss
and drag
arena.
keep in the DLC.
I mean it's cool as fuck but like come on.
But do we have filing shrine at home? Probably not.
One thing about Dark Souls 3 that I love is that it's based like architecturally on Byzantium. Like you have like the medieval Roman style on the Firelink, and then you have the whole dragon area, which is basically just Constantinople but in ruins, and also like kind of exaggerated. But like the Hagata Sophia that is in there, like that is Constantinople. Like nobody can tell me otherwise.
How would I rate? How would I rate the untended graves though? Hmm. The Black Knights are kind of annoying.
Yeah, like what the fuck are they
Especially,
doing?
I mean, the one with the great sword is kind of strong, right?
Yeah, it's annoying as fuck.
Uh, I don't know. I give it a five. It's with the boss fight. I would give it a seven. Like the boss fight is fun,
Yeah,
but
like Gundyr is
without the boss
fucking
fight, the
Chad.
area. Okay, next area. Untended graves is fun. What's the name? Now the dragon area,
Gundyr
right?
could
From
be a
Dark Souls
Chad.
2.
Can you get Gundyr's armor?
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
but not the arms. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Why not? Whatever. Is the
Uh,
dragon area the only one left, really?
yeah, Dark Souls 3 isn't really that big.
No, it is quite big. I'm missing
So the
something.
dragon area. And
What
I
do we
am
have?
sure you have a very strong opinions about it.
No, the first half is fucking shit because you have to run around. Uh,
I have seen your episode on it and I commented under it few things and I I like it.
of
What I
100
don't
salamanders.
like is the dragon transformation. It just looks like anorexic anorexic larper. That isn't a
Yeah,
dragon. That looks pathetic.
heartstring. Right,
Like
that's
in the
right.
video you called it a goat.
It's a goat demon. It's the emaciated goat demon.
Like the cool thing is if you are a man, uh, you have different form of the dragon than if you are a woman. If you are a man, you have
Looks shit in both.
hmm?
It looks shit in both forms.
Yeah, but the female one actually looks a bit better.
Give me back the Dark Souls 2 dragon transformation.
Yeah, the golden dragon in Dark Souls 2 looks like Garo.
I mean, it was an armor. You had brown skin like the ancient dragon, right? But you're just wearing armor, and you had a third eye for some reason. But
Yeah, like in Dark Souls 1, it looks weird because you have fur on you. Like, the fuck? Where are scales? In
yeah,
Dark
I
Souls.
mean, it looks more like the ancient dragon, right? And Dark Souls 1,
Yeah, 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 with the
because it
fluffy
also,
tail.
yeah, it's like a mixture out of stone and fur.
And
And they
it's
went
also
sim.
artificially created by Seed as an experiment. That's why it doesn't attack you. It's it's so passive. It's like sheep.
I mean,
Mm,
yeah, it's kind of boring. And
yeah.
Dark Souls 2 was like best dragon, muscular, big armor, like, and now you're like starving goat demon.
Do you know Garo?
I don't know. How do you write that?
G-A-R-O.
No.
It's this golden lion knight, and basically the dragon form from Dark Souls 2 is. It looks like him, but a dragon.
Ah,
Hmm.
it looks better than a goat demon.
Yep. Well, that's not really hard to do. But yeah, I like that your enemies are like snake people because
Yeah, Snake is a failed dragon, right?
it's like a
Or like the
halfway point
pre-version.
there.
I mean,
Some
could be both, right?
hmm?
Either they failed the transformation, or like they're past, like they're slowly getting there.
Hmm. Some say that snakes are dragons that got corrupted by greed and that's why they regressed. Some say that snake dreams about becoming dragon. Some say that you first have to be snake to become a dragon. It all depends, but they are always connected.
But
And I
what
don't
what I
know.
like about the dragon thingy is like the Hogwarts story, like the storyline with the NPC. That's pretty
Hmm.
cool.
Hmm. I really like
Kind
that
of
it's just
unfortunate.
like Byzantium. Again, like you have like the Middle East with those sickles and those turbans and basically stuff like that. But it's also like medieval Europe. It's kind of like connecting two different cultures together, which really fits with the whole dragon theme, like standing outside of everything. And also, I actually like how the enemies are. Like the guys with those double axes on chains, like those are cool.
And annoying to fight.
Yes.
They just throw the axe and they're pulling it back, and you're getting hit twice. Woo. Or at least you're getting hit once when you think, oh, you've dodged it, and then they pull it back and you're getting hit again.
So we can agree that the giant wyvern, it's trash.
Yeah, you jump on the head, it's dead.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Or
absolute
you try to
garbage.
jump on its head, it's doing the fire attack, you're falling to your death.
Seeing Havel
Nah, it's.
is cool as fuck.
Yeah, he took down a dragon or two. How many are there? I don't know.
And this time he actually uses his shield weapon arm to put those stones around him.
Yeah, they gave him like the second phase, right? In
Mm.
phase one, he's using his weapon one-handed. Phase two transition, he turns into a stone and then two-hands his weapon.
Yep,
I mean, they gave an NPC a second phase, which is pretty cool.
yep. Like the weapon art is still in Dark Souls 1, but it's way less effective.
Player
And
can use that thing, right? Yeah, in Dark Souls 1 you could use it. You're
in
just
Dark
destroying your
Souls 1,
shield with that
Havel
shit.
cannot use the weapon art of the shield, but in Dark Souls 3 he finally can, and it was cool. And one more thing that is cool as fuck is the snake summoner.
Yeah, with the wheelchair or with the walking aid.
Yeah, yeah. Like I love that he's crippled and he needs to have that wheelchair. That's cool as fuck. I love that he has a mage staff and a whip. And I love that he summons not only the Drake Knights, which are cool, but he summons Havel and he summons
Naked Rickard.
Naked Richard. Exactly.
Welcome to Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2 NPC edition.
Like Richard, he's such a strange character. Like he's a knight in Dark Souls 1, but he uses a rapier.
Yeah,
And in Dark Souls
pokey
3,
stick.
you see him like he's no longer, and Richard is supposed to be like a prince of some country. In Dark Souls 3, you see him that, oh, he has a crown. He became a king. He still
I
uses his
mean,
rapier, but he also
I mean,
went
he's
insane.
wearing he's wearing the crown that you get from Volnir. It's so stupid.
I mean, the point is probably he's wearing a crown. It doesn't matter what crown it is, and they basically only have the Volnir's one.
Yay! Woo!
But I really like that they are making reference to Richard because originally, Aegon of Astora, the guy that gives you your Estus flask, his quest was basically like he was your rival and he was following you through the game and you would face him many times. And Prince Richard is one of the forms where he would fight you. He would switch his sword for the rapier because he's in area with those rapier using knights.
Hmm.
So I love that they kind of went like, oh, we have this coolest guy, like let's use him.
Yeah, why
And
not, right?
also, he is like the complete opposite of a Havel. Havel is just like this heavy as knight. He's slow, but when he hits you, you are done. Richard, he's fighting you naked. He is as fast as you can possibly be. And with Rapier, he hits you many times. And that
I,
counts.
I mean, if it would work, like you just steamroll him. Like the other ones are a bit harder to beat. But no, he's dead. He's just dead.
Yeah. And of course,
Ah,
his
Nameless
name
King
was
is fun
King.
though. Nameless King is a fun fight. I really like that.
Yeah.
Did you walk on the air? That's pretty cool.
I
The only
love that
thing,
you awaken him by ringing the big ass bell because he's dead. I love that you are walking on the clouds to fight him. I don't understand where he took that bird.
the problem with with the what's the bird's name? Storm King, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Uh, the problem is that it's because there's no ground underneath you, like you don't see any shadows and something, right? It's a bit hard to gauge the distance between your character and the dragon.
Yep.
So you're missing a lot, or at least I am missing a lot of times because I think, okay, I'm standing very close. Oh no, it's just that 2 meters in front of me. Okay, need to walk up again.
I
Kind
also
of hard to
love
gauge the distance.
that. I also love that he's wearing like the leather skirt that Roman legionaries used to wear. That's a very nice touch, like being still like Byzantium. And also his weapon, like it is said that he was a teacher for uh, not Artorias, the lion knight with the spear.
No, Ornstein.
Yeah, for Ornstein. So I love that they kind of like upgraded his spear to be this. Well, the weapon is called sword spear, but it just looks like a paddle.
I mean, it looks just like a spear with a very, very exaggerated blade or
I mean, those
tip.
weapons did exist.
Well, it looks cool. I would rather have this than a sword. Give me
Yeah.
a sword on a stick.
Also, him being the son of Gwen, that fits very nicely with the lore.
Yeah, I don't attack dragons, I befriend them.
Yeah.
Take the one with feathers.
Somehow I found this bird that can spawn electricity. What the fuck?
Oh, you killed my bird. Let me kill it again.
So, is there anything you would like to add?
That I missed my upload schedule, apparently. Probably not.
It's almost 2 a.m., bro. I'm gonna sleep, man. I'm tired as fuck.
Oh, don't. Wait. Oh, today's the 5th already. Whoops.
Well, this
That's
was.
why. No, that's. Okay, never mind. I didn't forget my upload schedule.
This was fun.
I was. Like, I was editing my video, right?
Mm-hmm.
It should go up on Sunday, so today. I was like, wait, 6th doesn't fit. Did I miss him? Did I miss something? Like, it's 4 days now. It's not 3 days. Oh, it's already 1 a.m.
Yeah. So
Okay, don't
yeah,
forget to watch the video at 3 o'clock or something. The video comes online.
it was pretty nice talking to you, like, but I should. It's kind of shit because I'm tired and I don't know what to say.
No, it's fine. Like, I'm tired as well. Usually I stay up until 4 a.m. or something.
What the fuck?
It's weekend.
Then,
On a weekend, it's fine.
I mean, yeah, like if it was like Sunday, I would not be awake this long.
Yeah.
Okay.
But okay, let's wrap things up, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
You're tired. I want to go to bed as well. The video is already uploaded, just not online yet.
Yep.
Um,
And
so you can also go to bed.
we can always talk like again.
Sure.
Okay, so.
Uh, just one small question, right?
Mhm.
Do you know of a what's it called? Emulator for Bloodborne, for example.
I know it exists, but that's about it.
Yeah, same. Yeah, otherwise I'm not playing that game. I'm not recording that on my PlayStation.
Like,
I'm
I'm
not
not
crazy.
buying PlayStation just to play Bloodborne. Like, the
I
fuck?
mean, I have my PlayStation next to me, but I don't want to go through it without cheats and not on 30 FPS. That's shit. Please
I think
release,
Lance
please release Bloodborne.
McDonald made the emulator.
All right, I'm looking for that.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Thanks for the name. Yeah.
mhm. Yeah.
Until next time then.
Yep. Bye bye.
Bye.